to come.
I'd like to show you something.
The pace when I'm running, I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend of me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up. So
Hey, here's got knowledge back
find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
I'm gonna paint Nick like a French bitch.
You have to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky?
Smoke weed every day.
That was hilarious.
You know, that's what your intro's been missing all this time. Sound effects.
Smoke weed.
Yeah, that's awesome.
that was a perfect way to cap that off. Hello, everyone. It is the 90th episode of Talk Tuesday.
What a way to start out the 90s with one of the most 90s movies ever.
We're getting old.
Right? 90 episodes. And here we are with, yes, as Tom said, a 90s classic. And this is a huge one. And I think we even have a first timer on the panel side. I think
a virgin.
Yeah, so we had a virgin who got his cherry busted for this one. You know, we're always appreciative of our cherry busters around here. We don't discriminate with our cherries here, so we're very appreciative of said cherries. So,
well, speaking of that, we did have a nude lady in the movie, right? What hooters! That's amazing.
Those are some headlights there.
What a
hooters! Yeah, both of them.
Oh. So let's acknowledge some faces in the chat, and we'll get to our panel. How's it going? FKHC 2005, Scott Hughes, John Coppola, David Glenn, Bush McFadden, Darth Viewer, Mr. Angel, Yaknaman, and No, I have no dick, Jonah a Hex, RJ Godzilla, Yaknaman, and No, I have no dick, Jonah a Hex. Oh no! Yaknaman, and No, I have no.
What is going on?
Oh, is that Bruce, or is that 70s?
I have no idea what the hell just happened there.
I deny all knowledge of the fact I just made a mistake.
That was like
that
wasn't me.
I actually thought you were doing that.
Twilight Zone or something. Shit.
Like you were doing that, Nick. I thought
never
you were
made a mistake before.
I thought you were missing something there.
1/6 of the way across the country in the wrong direction.
It's a disco.
Oh, good for you.
Right?
Oh man, too good. It's okay. We all it's us.
I'll select the correct.
Red Shirt. What's up, Red Shirt? D-Bud. Brian Barth. Keely Chow. Gonzalo Bergali. What's up, Darth Plato? Dearest Snail Messiah. What's up, man? All right. Welcome, guys. And how are you returning to Talk to Tuesday and basically reoccurring guest, Bruce Lombardo of the Dix Division?
Thank you very much for bringing me back. This was my first time seeing this movie. It's been out since '94. Yeah.
Dude, do you feel a little bit like
if there are credentials
violated?
Experience? Did it feel very tight going in?
Nick, if there are credentials, Bruce has just had them revoked.
I apologize, but I don't watch a lot of comedy films. They got to be great, like Something About Mary-esque, and this movie obviously fits right in with that greatness.
Like
and
See, it's funny you mentioned that because Something About Mary was the movie that finally got the Farrelly brothers taken seriously, and I thought during that movie, I'm like, Dumb and Dumber and Kingpin are much better films than this.
I think Kingpin is their crowning
RJ
achievement.
Godzilla's first time too. Thank you for watching. That's awesome. We got people actually watch this. That's cool. And Kingpin's one we gotta do down the line too. Oh,
Please.
we gotta do Kingpin.
Please.
Oh, I will believe.
I got up
that.
early and I took the liberty of milking your cow this morning. We do not have a cow. We have a bull. I'm just gonna go.
Is it a
wash
Brahma
up.
bull?
Ah, that was good.
Oh yeah, it's a Brahma bull with spicy balls.
If you want a meat that will fill your mouth, grab Brahma's Bull's balls.
Oh,
With cream.
This is such a good time for her because I'm telling you, the '90s was Lauren Hutton's like.
Well, this was
period.
like her first big movie, actually, believe it or not, from my memory.
got married to Jim Carrey.
Yeah, her and Jim Carrey got together after this. Yeah.
Yep.
And then they broke up after. How you doing, 70s rock fan? Returning to the show, might I add, after a little hiatus.
Indeed.
How's your vacation?
Bruce was about to say something there.
The vacation was great. Not being able to walk very well was not good, but then when you can lie by the pool with a drink, the walking bit is irrelevant most of the time. And get food delivered to you at the pool.
And get food delivered to you. I like it.
And
Well,
golf
I'm glad to
carts
have
to
you
ride
back,
in.
sir. I'm glad you came.
I did. I was well. I would have come while I was on holiday too, but I didn't take the gear with me, so there was no coming.
You came on holiday? Did Holiday care?
Holiday was in. Holiday was in. That's all I can say.
Doc Holiday?
Doc Holiday.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Oh. I'll be your Huckleberry.
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Well, I'm glad you're
I'm
here,
spent.
Sonny's. We
I'm
miss
spent.
you.
It's great to be back. I was listening to you while I was away, but yeah, it's
I
good to
know
be
you
here. I missed
were.
you all.
I saw you dropping in the chat. I was like, where is he? Where's that 70s rock fan?
I missed you
I'm
all.
glad- I missed you. What we spent a lot of time
Missed you
together
more.
the next few days. All right, 70s.
All right, yeah. I'll be watching
And
you
then,
in
of
Dallas.
course,
scared
and
me.
who's making this movie go on the screen as you see it right now. How are you, Mark D with a C?
I'm doing awesome. This is one of my all-time favorite movies. I think I mentioned last week how I was watching this movie the first time on VHS and just on the couch with another hanging out in the living room, and I'm dying laughing, just totally dying. I can't keep it together. And my wife is like, "This is not a fucking funny movie. This movie sucks. What is so funny?" And it's killing me. It's like when they kill the spotted owl, I'm rewind. The VHS, it wasn't easy to rewind. And my buddy's like, "That's enough, Mark. You're not rewinding it for the 10th time." Like,
So
I was
how's
just
the
not, when
divorce?
you're scarfing.
How's the
Well, she
divorce
just-
going then? If she doesn't like this movie, you can't stay with her.
She's still with me. We're gonna hit 30 years together next year. So we just have never watched it again. But it's like one of those things. If you get this movie, or it's your kind of humor, or you think it's maybe like the worst fucking stupid movie in the world, but this is one of them. I just I'm watching it again tonight and trying not to laugh like out loud, too hard. People.
It's funny. It's funny you mentioned it being the stupidest movie ever. That's going to come up once we get into the behind the scenes business here after all the intros.
Yes,
Well, that'd be great to hear. Yeah.
And
But yeah,
shout
this
out
is-
to
this
the
is
lovely
so
Sherry
good.
from the
He's got the
Shouldn't it be the other way around though? Because he had more hair. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean,
I don't know who I'd be. I mean,
it
guess
works.
would be
I'm not gonna
Ellie.
lie. I mean, you are thinner than me, so
That's awesome. Well done.
you
I
look
love
like
this
you're
photo.
enjoying it too much, Nick.
Yeah, you do look a little bothered. Whereas I'm like a little like, ooh, I fixed my thumb.
You're gonna
Yeah.
come.
Oh, I'm gonna come. Thank you, Sherry. That was amazing. And
The foot
Mr.
long,
Tom,
who's got the
fancy
foot
seeing you a half
long?
hour later.
Right? Well, I couldn't miss this for the world.
Dude, I know.
Dumb and Dumber.
This was
I think this holds the record for the amount of times I've seen a movie in the theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How many times did you see it in theaters?
Like 5 or 6.
See, that sounds impressive until you realize that Tom goes in the first screening and never leaves the cinema till the end of the night.
Right. No, actually, I've only done a couple of double features before. My ass can't handle that shit.
Really? I
You've
feel
never
like you have been
doubled up
all
more
in
than
on
once?
that.
I've gone to see Bad Boys and Tommy Boy on the same day, and I saw can't remember what it was I saw with we saw Mortal Kombat, and then we went to see something else afterwards because we stuck around long enough just to watch the beginning of the movie again because we missed it when we first come in. Was there a Crow movie or something like that that came out around that time? Because I don't know, that couldn't have been it.
In 1994 was The Crow with Brandon Lee.
No, maybe we jumped into The Crow after that, but I'm trying to remember if it was out at the same time in theaters. But yeah.
Brandon Lee's The Crow came out in October of 93 or early November 93. So no, that was the original release. It was supposed to be that. It was May of 94 because I was on leave.
Hey, look.
Suck me sideways.
So, speaking as I say that, I see Jonah Hex's comment. No, man. I'd say because this is when I discovered this is right around when I was getting into comedy movies. My gateways were of course stuff like Wayne's World, the Sandler, Mike Myers, Chris Farley, a lot of the physical comedy stuff, Rob Schneider, and then of course when I saw, I think this or Ace Ventura, I can't remember which came first, but those were the first two movies. The first Ace Ventura and Dumb and Dumber. In which order I can't remember. But those were my two gateways to carry. And here's a funny thing. For the longest time, I had only seen this movie with Jeff Daniels until maybe 4 or 5 years later in my life. I finally saw Speed. I also recognize Jeff Daniels from a skit that he did on Saturday Night Live where he's talking to Chris Farley about, do you remember the time? And why I'm mentioning that was because he looks really clean and proper in that. And I remember asking my friends as a team, like, man, that guy looks familiar. Like I've seen him in a movie. And they're like, dude, that's fucking Jeff Daniels. I'm like, oh shit. I thought the way he looked in Dumb and Dumber is how he looked normally. So I didn't even recognize it because that's how I thought he looked at normally. To me, that was always his look because that was my gateway. I always associated that look with Jeff Daniels with the messy hair and everything. Whereas, like I said, on SNL with Chris Farley, he was all clean and hair slicked back, really classy looking guy with the suit. Yeah, I thought he looked like this, messy hair and all. Oh, boy.
Lloyd, could you keep your eyes on the road, please?
Oh, yeah. Good thinking. Can't be too careful. A lot of bad drivers out there.
This movie starts off with a fucking bang. I mean, it's like,
well,
literally.
I think we should kind of get into how this movie came about because the Farrelli's wrote this back in 1990, 1991, somewhere in there. Because this script went around for a while as the most hated script in Hollywood. It was so hated that they would change the name of it from time to time just so they wouldn't get rejected right off the bat. Because people just didn't want anything to do with this movie, even though everybody who read it would say the same thing. They would say it's the funniest script they've ever read. And they would laugh out loud reading it. Until finally New Line... Go ahead.
I was going to say, play this line.
That's a lovely accent you have. New Jersey?
Austria.
Reading that and you're laughing.
I've never read the original script, so I couldn't tell you what was improvised and what wasn't. I know a few lines that are improvised, but so New Line finally said, all right, well, if you can get any of these actors on this list to say yes to the movie, we'll do it. Well, they didn't even know that all those actors had already turned the movie down. So it was like a fleeting thing. Well, finally they said, okay, well, we just did a movie with Jim Carrey called The Mask, and we liked it. And Ace Ventura was coming out soon. So they're like, if you can get a deal with Jim Carrey, we'll make this movie. Well, the idiots waited because they could have got him for $1 million before Ace Ventura came out. They waited too long, and they waited till the weekend after Ace Ventura came out, and then they're like, yeah, you can get him, but it's going to cost you now. Basically.
Now he's a big star, right?
Yeah, so it took cost $4 million to get him. And then this also led to an argument with the sequel to The Mask, which I was talking about earlier, Nick, which you can find the story out if you check out our interview with Robert Shea. But like, yeah, Mike.
You know, on second thought, you might just want to run a comb through him.
Just run a comb through him. Mike DeLuca, actually, the guy who's one of the big wigs over at Warner Brothers now, is actually one of the people who actually brought this script to the company and said, you know, it's pretty funny. You know, so they got Jim Carrey on board, and then the Farrellies always wanted Jeff Daniels.
Yeah,
and the studio did
they
not.
originally went for? The studio
Martin
wanted
Short and
Agent Gary Oldman.
Well, and they also went
they
to Martin
turned it
Short and
down.
Steve Martin, but they turned it down
Yes,
too. Yeah,
they turned it down, and they're like, you know what? Instead of going for an established star, they went for a rising star. Go ahead and continue. I just figured.
Well, yeah, and then the thing with Jeff Daniels though is at that time he was known as a serious actor, right?
Yes,
He'd only
'cause
done like serious. Closest thing he had done to a comedy was Something Wild.
Yeah.
And in fact, this movie actually references it. We'll get to it when it does.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Well,
Anyway,
also, this is the same year he did Speed, which obviously was interestingly enough, he plays a character in Speed named Harry, and the guys in Speed didn't want him to do this movie, and he wanted to do it so bad he actually took a very low pay cut because he wanted to do this movie so badly.
Well, I was going to get to that. Like, yeah, he did it for next to nothing, but like the studio did not believe in him for this part. It's not that they didn't, know who he was or didn't think he was a decent actor.
He was right for
They just
it.
didn't think he was a comedian.
Yeah.
And they thought they wanted two comedians in these roles. Well, and little did they know Jim Carrey was on the side of, no, I want Jeff Daniels. And he said the reason was because I want a real actor. First of all, I want somebody who I can actually work off of that will react to me properly and not just wait to steal the spotlight from me. Right. And he would know because he'd been working the last few years on like In Living Color and stuff like that. So he kind of had an idea how other comedians
Anyone
were.
remember Living Color out there?
Oh, yes.
Me and you?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
If you're old enough.
Let me tell you something.
The music episode was great with I think was it Vanilla Ice?
We did the Vanilla Ice thing. That was
that
probably
was
the moment that put Jim Carrey on the map, to be honest with you. Like,
That was
'cause, I mean, I'd known who he was. I'd seen him in One Spit and in a few other things. But the moment he did that Vanilla Ice parody on In Living Color, I think the whole world stopped and was like, this guy is fucking funny. Right. And then Ace Ventura came out. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say he became the big star in Living Color until the Wayans brothers, of course, but it took them, years later, I think, before they became as big as Jim Carrey.
They never did. Jim Carrey was the one that, he skyrocketed.
Superstar, yeah.
In this year alone, and since this movie managed to get out in 1994, he is the only actor, I think, in history still to have three films open number one in 1 year.
But The Mask was before this, wasn't it?
Yep, because in April or February is when Ace Ventura came out.
All right, okay.
Then The Mask dropped in July, and then this came out in December. So since they just managed to squeeze this in at the end of the year, Jim had, at least for a while, unless something else has happened between now and then that I don't know about, he had the record for the most number one movies opening at number one as a star in a single year.
Okay.
Like even beating out like Burt Reynolds, I think, who had
translation.
2. And I think Harrison
That's
Ford
like-
had 2 before that.
Yeah, that's such a. It's okay. I'm a limo driver.
So yeah,
I
so
love
like
that
the original, they changed the title. I don't know how many, a dozen times, but Dumb and Dumber was the title they eventually got to. Because one was like, "Don't Let Idiots Play with Power Tools" or some shit like that. Was one of the, like, they kept just changing the title over and over again. But I guess the story never really changed. Then of course, like, so the studio finally was like, all right, well, they still weren't on board with Jeff Daniels, but like you were saying, each and every one of his agents, except for one of them, called him on the night before he was going in for his costume fitting and begged him not to do this movie. He said it's going to destroy your career. Because as I said, this was one of the most hated scripts going around Hollywood. None of them knew what they were up to. And Jeff said, look, if it's going to be a failure, it'll be a failure on my own terms. Because he knew he could do this.
And he loved the script, obviously, right?
And he loved the script, and he knew exactly what he was going to do. And this is the funny part: is the first week of filming, they refused. The studio wouldn't let them film them together. The first scene
they thought they were going to drop him, and then
they had another comedian waiting in the wings just in case. I can't remember who it was exactly.
They had a Michael J. Fox lined up.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was like a Daryl Brewer or somebody like that. They had waiting just in case, and. What happened is they finally did a bunch of Harry scenes by himself. And And they laughed and they found him funny, so they got it. And then they're like, "Well, wait until you see him with Jim." And then the first scene they did together was the hot tub scene. And he said he'd come in and he did his thing, because what he did for Harry is he would come in and he would fluff his hair like this, and he'd shake his head like 2,000 times until he was like feeling like he was dizzy, and then he would just act. And he would have this weird like dizzy look on his face. He said the first time Jim saw him do that, Jim just lost it. He's like, "That's fucking brilliant." And he said the trick was whenever Jim did something dumb, he would just make sure he did something dumber. So there's the answer to what we were asking earlier. So which one was Dumb and Dumber? No, Jeff already knew from the start he was dumber. That was kind of the whole shebang, right? And not only that, like if you look at it, it's kind of like a Beavis and Butthead thing too, to where Butthead is the one who's a little bit less innocent than Beavis, to where it's kind of the same thing with Harry and Lloyd. Lloyd is a lot less innocent than Harry is. Lloyd is out there trying to manipulate and do his thing. Harry is just along for the ride, kind of like Butthead is with Beavis. Beavis is usually just along for the ride. Harry is genuinely dumb. Like there's literally nothing going on in his head at any given time.
Well, like Lloyd with the getting the sea bass to pay for his bill in the diner, like that was super smart. Except when they get in the car in the
dude, what a smart plan.
Right?
Well, that's the actual reference to a wild.
Oh, it is, yeah.
It's something wild because he goes, "I saw it in a movie once."
And they caught up with this.
And that was referring to Jeff Daniels' character from that moment in the movie.
Oh, that's that. Okay, yeah.
What happened in the movie?
As far as Carrie peaking, I mean, I guess as far as comedy movies go, but I do like stuff that he did after. But I feel like that was definitely that three-peat he did. He did a Michael Jordan, but with comedy in the 90s. And that was an incredible three-peat in 1 year. So I'd say, it was my definitely my favorite years. But like I said, I do enjoy him as ridiculous as he was in Batman Forever. I did like Liar Liar, and I am a shameless lover of the Cable Guy. So
and that's the movie that really turned his career into a different direction, actually.
Yes, because that was more of a dark comedy.
Yeah.
That really definitely like put the brakes on a little bit. Oh,
dude, got robbed by a little old lady on a cart.
Old lady took his beer.
On a motorized cart.
Yeah.
I want to acknowledge a great line when they walk to their apartment and he's like, "Hi Lloyd, hi Harry, how's your day?" "Not bad. Go up the jetway again." Like it's like he just does that all the time again.
I guess they're right. Senior citizens, although slow and dangerous behind the wheel, can still serve a purpose.
She served a purpose, all right. She took your beard, bro. You got burned by the old lady. Where's the booze? Oh, man. It's so good. I got robbed by a sweet old lady on a motorized cart.
What's this world come to?
Oh, man. And then, of course, they realize the tragedy of Mike Parakeet Petey. And now, of course, the legendary line at the we got no food, we got no jobs, our pets are falling off.
Yeah, he was pretty old.
Yeah, so we get old, your head just rolls off.
That fell off.
Well, this is one of the reasons why I had to go see this movie so many times at theaters, because the theater is laughing so much at so much of this shit that you couldn't hear half the fucking lines through half the movie, like, because you're always getting cut off with like people laughing so loud. But like, it was such a great fucking movie, and it was the audience was so into it from the beginning too, right?
God,
like, I don't remember going to see it with a bad audience. Oh, except for your wife, yeah.
Yeah, dude. How could you say? Oh yeah, here's where he bagged. Oh, I love the sad music.
Oh no, Lloyd, the French are assholes.
The French are.
Where's the booze?
I got robbed by a sweet old lady on a motorized
cart. I didn't even see it coming.
I'm keeping the clips short, so yeah.
No, dude. Perfect. Killing with the clips.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. They expect us to work 40 hours a week.
Came up from the worm store. I mean, that's your.
I got worms.
I got worms. Yeah. And
I
got
got worms. I beg your pardon.
That's what we're gonna call it. I
Beginning.
got worms.
I like how because obviously what's their faces want to get back at them by obviously killing the bird. Like, we'll just mess the place up. Well, I don't think they're gonna get any sign from that.
Yeah.
Their place is already trapped.
What makes you think that's you? Well, how else do they know? It's how well, of course they know I got gas.
Don't you miss the days you could go to a movie and laugh so hard you hurt yourself?
Oh, this is one of them, man.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, Tom, everyone in the cinema was just dying with laughter. I can't remember a comedy I've been to in the last 10
Well, and
years.
Tommy Boy came out the
years.
year before this, and that was like one of the closest things I remember to some experience like this, where it was just like nonstop, just balls to the wall laughs through the
Team
whole
America
movie.
did it for me. I was killing myself at that.
Yeah,
I was dying.
Oh, dude, yeah,
Something
no,
about Gerry.
that was one of the last great comedies I saw.
Basketball was another one that came out around that time too.
Oh, yeah,
I think I fell out of my chair
98 or 99.
when Robert Stack goes, "We have no fucking clue where this guy is."
Hold on, you sold that bird to the blind kid?
You're supposed to talk about all of our expenditures. I raised an extra $25 before we left. Sold some stuff.
And then you get to see that in the news report later, which is just so awesome. It's
What kind of man
when
would
they
do
tie
this?
it in when it's like on CNN. It's like now reporting. We're
Where
trying
did
to
you sell them? Just some stuff.
Oh,
I don't know, some
70s.
baseball
What
cards.
did you do?
quiet.
Someone's memeing. I don't know who it is.
Oh, 70s.
Coming comer.
Oh,
my God.
This is so good. I
Cut
love
in
the
my
memes
head.
that
That's
come
why I
up
have that
tonight.
face.
I didn't have time to change the names.
Thank you, 70s. It's glorious. We share that one around. Oh, man. Oh.
That time, I heard you coming.
In New Jersey.
New Jersey.
New Jersey, yeah.
And this,
How the hell
this
they
I
know I
can't
got
remember this.
gas?
I can't remember this
I got
actor's name,
bros.
but he's in so many mob movies.
Yeah. And Duff from MTV.
Oh yeah.
She was popular on MTV. Yeah, you remember watching her. It was a
This
big deal. And
film features one of my
That was
all-time-
tough.
yeah, it's
Is
Duff.
that
Yeah.
Duff? Yeah, it's Duff.
I forgot to ask, is this the unrated cut or is this the standard cut, the PG-13?
This is the good version. This is the
Okay.
that's why it's low res, because like you said, Tom, I couldn't find it on Blu-ray, and I own the Blu-ray, and I was all excited to watch this on Blu-ray, and I'm like,
The best version right now is on HBO Max, but yeah. Or
And
Max.
they have
Whoa, like the TV
they have the
show.
PG-13
Theatrical?
cut, yeah. Yeah, PG-13 HD 5.1 surround, yeah.
There's a great answer. What is the soup
Oh,
of the day?
it's
It's soup du jour. It's the soup of the dinghy.
Oh, that sounds good. I'll have
Does
that.
anyone know what the flow
know,
reference?
guys,
Because
no.
I know Tom and probably 70s
Yes.
do, but so there was the show.
I've not watched
you know,
it. I don't have that
Alice.
historical.
The show in the diner, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a waitress in the diner named Flo. So everyone yelled, "Hey,
Okay.
Flo!" And of course, even back then, like no one's getting this joke.
This ring
In the
throws
diner.
the whole fucking thing over his
That's
shoulder.
the best.
yeah.
It's
What the hell was that?
And you know who that is? That's the famous hockey player. Don't fuck with
one?
him.
Who is it?
Cam Neely.
Oh, it's Cam Neely. Okay, I couldn't
It's
really.
Cam Neely.
Without my
Yeah.
glasses on, it's a bit fuzzy.
Jim Carrey's just totally throwing him under the bus.
Buzz, yeah.
You don't want to
Sorry
know
about
a
your
guy
star
like Cam
70.
Neely.
And Godzilla
Oh,
remembers the
yeah.
flow reference. Yeah, if you're old enough, I guess. Yeah.
I never do anything to a
His
man,
ass,
of,
Seabass.
a man of your size.
Another great line. Kick his ass.
Yeah,
Seabass.
kick his ass, Seabass. And I'm glad that because the unrated cut makes us it takes it too far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really
Wasn't
does.
there a character called Seabass in another movie?
I think so. I don't know.
It just sounds familiar. Yeah.
I
It's
feel
a
like they
good
show the
redneck name.
loogie and they show the loogie and the unrated cuts. Like, you don't need to see it. Sometimes it's less is more. And then, the inferences that, sea bass later on, you'll see is, come back for some man love. Yeah, Jim Carrey's like,
kiss my grits.
Yeah. But it's too much. You're right, Tom. It's like, then he's like, here, this is your happy place. It's like, you don't need that in the scene.
Kiss
you
My
can tell,
Grits comes from the show Alice. That's
Alice, yeah. With Flo, yeah. But like in that scene in the bathroom, he's got he pulls down his pants, and you can actually see, like, knowing how they cut the scene, you can actually see when he gets knocked over, you can see that he's got his pants down if you look real close. But with the edit, you never normally wouldn't catch it. But
and that's another one that goes a little too far too in that uncut version, I think, if I remember right.
Yeah. I'll show an article.
Rare time where the director's cut does not complement the theatrical cut.
No, well, because after this, they let the Farrelly brothers just fly, right? They let them do the R-rated stuff, and that's kind of what they got known for. So I think that was one of their selling points of the Blu-ray was, you finally get to see the unrated Farrelly brothers cut, which is cool, but like put the original version on there too.
Yeah,
all the added shit is nothing that's really worth a shit, and most of it was cut out for a fucking reason. Because the only other bits that I think that are added in that aren't anything unrated really isn't it more of the kidnapping scenario bits, like between those guys and stuff, if I remember right?
Why don't we let me show it? Just
go ahead.
Let me pause.
Take it away.
Show.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of pointless.
It's not a lot of stuff, and they call it in this article censorship. I wouldn't say censorship, but it's just the scene, like you hear the bird's head getting snapped off. So
little things like that. Yeah,
little things like that. So showing the bird
doesn't,
but it just makes it it's more nasty, I guess.
Darker,
darker. And then there's a line here. This might have been funny when I've seen it. It's like, there's no bubbles in my drink, so
that is funny. That is one of the few bits that I would have left. Yeah, there's a few of them that are okay, but like, then
you see the Luger from the spit. It's like, you don't need to see that. And then they infer that they're both. You're lucky I don't have big boobs, or I'd do you right now.
It's just more extra stuff there.
More extra stuff, yeah. And then I guess there's more of a scene with the family that they pick up a little bit longer, I guess, not much. But then this is the biggest difference where they show, here's your happy place. Yeah, it was like, what? It's like, Seabass pulls his pants down, and then they're joking about being in the loo again, so minor stuff. And then there's a joke too about, I guess, that's cut out when he's getting ready for dinner later, and the ski suit. He says, "There's a tiny lump in there. Anyway, no one will notice," which is mildly funny. Jeff Daniels.
Yeah,
that's why he's wearing the shorts when he goes skiing, I guess, over this suit.
That's a scene they'd let him get away with now in PG-13 back then.
Yeah,
he had the dick sticking out. Yeah,
and then this one they're just throwing he goes to throw the toilet out of the window, which is, minor.
Just a little bit more extra,
you don't really need.
One of the most memeable scenes in all of movie history. How many times have I seen that GIF or meme based on Jeff Daniels on the shitter?
No shit, right?
I know.
Which is funny. When we get to that, I got a funny story for that one. But and
only Tom would have a funny story for that.
And I will add that if you are wondering about the unrated version, if Mark is just throwing shade on it because he likes the theatrical version better, they're available to watch for free on the interwebs right now. Just go on YouTube, go in the search bar later on, and watch it on your own recognizance. I'm pretty certain you will not laugh as much as you did when you watched this movie in its pure form in the theatrical version.
Yeah, was gonna be my point. Is the way that the way it's editing is a big part of comedy.
Indeed.
Yeah. Right, and the way it's edited initially, the jokes land. It works. The timing is there. You don't go too far. It doesn't go into too darker regions. In the extended cut, it just lingers too much. And you're right. Like, you don't laugh as much. And some of the bits that did land initially don't land because the timing is off, or you're lingering on the loogie, or lingering on the dude in the fucking, Seabass's leopard skin fucking shorts or whatever and stuff like that, or underwear, whatever you want to call it. But like, yeah. Anyway, this is one of the best bits here. I'm pitching it off. It hurts. I can't hold it. Because this is one of those things where like almost everybody has been a part of this kind of a thing when you're on a road trip with guys and you can't pull over and somebody, you know, you've been drinking or whatever, and somebody's like, just give me a couple bottles, and they start pissing in bottles. It just turns into a mess.
12 ounces does not go far enough.
Those bottles have a limit on themselves.
Pull over. No, it's a cardigan, but thanks for noticing. The beauty of this film is this is one of the last time you can do this kind of comedy, right? Like this was like, you know, just like that same kind of like quippy. It's almost sitcom-ish in a way.
It's not like a lot of the Carrie movies where it doesn't just rely, where a lot of Carrie movies rely on the physical kind. This relies on a lot of really good, quick dialogue to move everything going, not just the crazy mayhemicness of.
Well,
of
it's just the way that they show how stupid they are with some of their responses, right? And it's part of the fun because it's like, you know, it's a cardigan, but thanks for noticing. Like, just that's something you would have in like a fucking like a, you know, an old vaudeville joke. Right?
Give me that booze, pumpkin pie, haircut freak. You shut your mouth if you know what's best for you. And then he does that sound that sounds like a dolphin. I was like, is he a dolphin or something?
Get the hell out of here.
If you know what's good for you, minor correction plan. We all get what I was going to say. But yeah, I was like,
and I can't remember this dude's name, but he's fucking hilarious.
He's good, yeah.
It's Harlan or something like that. I can't remember his first name, but like, yeah.
He's really good, yeah.
I'm looking it up.
I do
not know. Is it Jeff Harlan or something like that? Or I'm way off. On that too. I know. I can't think of his name because I think he's actually from.
Oh, Gooch says Williams.
Is it Williams?
Harlan Williams.
Harlan Williams. I knew it was Harlan something. Okay, thank you. I was close.
Oh yeah.
Tom Periscope and shit like that. Yeah, he's good. Did he do his own Rocket Man?
Sir, get out of here.
Get the hell out of here.
No ticket.
Brandon, the anime guy, for $2. What's up, Brandon? Long time no see. Says, I've never seen this all the way through. Cheers. Well, I would say see this all the way through.
Do it.
By all means, do it. Yeah, and it is huge, and theatrical cut is the way of all life.
Okay, what I'm thinking of was some deleted scenes then, because this is how long it's been since I watched that unrated cut even. Because, there was some deleted scenes that had to do more with the kidnapping. Because it's like, it drags on and on and on, and it's got like her husband's in a trunk. And the joke is they're talking in a scene and it stays in one shot, and through the whole scene is him limping in the trunk through the scene, like you see him in the background. Like that's the whole joke. It's like, oh my god, this just drags the fuck on.
And that's why he's limping in the end of the movie.
Yeah.
This movie,
he's hobbling. He's like pushing it through, like by whatever he's doing inside the box or whatever.
Of course, this movie has one of my earliest crushes in it, Terry Garr.
This is
back in the day. Terry Garr was pretty hot.
Patootie.
I love her ass in the shot, man.
This is my trifecta of hot women. It's got Karen Duffy, you've got Lauren Hawley, and Terry Garr.
Yeah.
So much fat material.
Indeed.
Before Terry Garr became
two
Terry Garrs.
Yeah. But back in the day, in all those Elvis movies and stuff like that, she was pretty hot. Young Frankenstein. She was a dancer as well. I think she was in Hullabaloo or something like that. You see her on YouTube in the dancing stuff. She was brilliant.
And yes, sometimes less is more, Soul Assassin. But it's not even so much less is more. It's just the timing, right? And that just shows you how you can mess with the timing of something when you start screwing with the editing. It's like sometimes things just work better in a certain way. You don't have to go overboard, you know?
I said, do you love me? And she said, no, but that's a really nice ski mask. Everyone just starts going off.
This is where it kind of goes a little overboard here.
Oh, dude,
I thought there was some more extra stuff here in the unrated version, but I could be wrong.
I love this scene.
I'm a big fan of this fight. I did not expect it. This is probably one of the first like super brutal scenes I saw.
Just the way he throws his napkin down too.
With him putting his heart in a doggy bag.
Yeah.
and handing it to him.
His sound effects are just so great in here. Yeah.
Oh, the sounds is, or it's like, "Nyah, nyah, 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 nyah." He makes the most obnoxious sounds ever.
Speaking of the obnoxious sounds, that was one of the improvised bits from Jim. Was you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Yeah.
Oh,
That one
you
worked.
remember
Yeah.
Do you guys
I
remember when MTV Music Awards or Movie Awards used to have skits based off of a movie where they'd cast some different people? And so they had the most annoying sound bit in the car, but instead of Carrie and Daniels, it was the cast of the Jeffersons.
I don't remember that, but that sounds pretty good.
I'll have to find it. Let me see if I can find that. Hold on.
No, by all means, man.
Well, MTV Music Awards used to be it back in the day too. I mean, you didn't miss those back in the 80s and early 90s too. So,
well, what they actually kind of did, I believe, if I remember right, they did first was where they would stick the host into other movies, and then the Oscars kind of stole that with like Billy Crystal and shit, if I remember right. But I could be wrong. Maybe it's the other way around. But yeah.
Well, thank you, TZ. I do appreciate that. Sorry, even if you're not, I appreciate the gesture. You've always been a good dude to me, so thank you. And you're one of the frequents on Gilded, so love your contributions to Gilded. You and Vince Mac.
TZ's a Canadian. You should like him. Just kidding.
You know, not all of them Canadians they just like each other. Oh, here we go. Here's the master chef who I he struck his heart. Man, what a fucking brutal ending. I was amazed that they got away with this fight with this, because that's a damn brutal ending. They show it too. That's the thing. They show it in the theatrical cut. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm happy with that myself, but it's just you wouldn't think that they would, because you usually, like, in order to get the 13, you have to, like, you know, give the people the visual idea in their head of what's happening. You know it, but without seeing it. That you straight up saw him rip right into his chest and take the heart out. That was some crazy shit, man. I was like, damn, these dudes are real.
I don't know how accurate this is, because if it's true, then that means the Farrelly brothers, no wonder this is one of their better films. Because after this, they kind of went downhill from there, if you ask me, other than Kingpin. But according to this, the original screenplay was actually written by John Hughes.
Really?
But due to a deal that he made with the directors, his name was stripped from the project, including the script.
Bet. Wow. Because it's not very John Hughes.
And it's not abnormal. I'm going to say, I'm not disbelieving it, but it doesn't have anything to cite it here, so I can't check it out. And it being a road movie, that kind of makes sense.
We're reading Bruce's text.
John Hughes knew how to write a road movie, so
I can read Bruce's texts.
Sorry.
Actually, now that I read this, for some reason, something comes to mind where John Hughes, I remember saying something like that, like he had some idea, and I think it was John Cusack and Anthony Michael Hall was something he was kind of working on for.
It's funny, if you set out to make a sadistic parody of a John Hughes movie, this would be it.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, it's got the elements, the Christmas sweaters,
everything.
Right?
Now that I see this, I'm like, wait a minute, there's something to this, I think. And I do remember there was a talk about John Hughes writing some buddy road movie for, like I said, John Cusack and Anthony Michael Hall.
It is like the anti-John Hughes. Almost. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I've never would have thought of that, but now you mentioned it, you can see.
But that happens all the time. People buy scripts and shit, and then their names are taken off them, because once you buy the script, it's yours. You know, you can sometimes do whatever you want with it like that, unless there's certain things you work out. Yeah.
Damn.
It could have been something he had laying around, and yeah.
The more you know.
There you go.
Well, and John Hughes is one of those guys, like, he was just full of ideas, so. I mean, and there's even a little bit of like the great outdoors and planes, trains, and automobiles in here, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric, hey.
I know there's a Pet Detective reference in it too.
Is there?
At one point, they talk about Lloyd says we're pet detectives.
I don't remember him saying that.
Yeah.
Did he really say that? I did not catch that all this
I'm
time.
trying to remember at which point it is. I'm gonna have to look for that. I'm gonna have to look.
I remember him talking about
Hey.
being a dog breeder or whatever in the bullshit scene.
Yeah,
One
shit.
of our pets.
Yeah.
We successfully made it a bulldog with a Shih Tzu. Yeah, we called it a bullshit.
It's called a bullshit.
Bullshit.
According to
So-
RJ Godzilla, I don't know if he's just joking here because it's a road movie or if he's being serious that Hughes ghost wrote Me, Myself, and Irene. I could almost see that too, actually. That's the weird thing.
So do you guys know about one of the original early Dumb and Dumber posters for the movie?
Yeah, the first original teaser poster didn't even have the
you know
title
about
on it
Laura
because I
sitting
remember
on the
seeing.
bench?
Yep, I was gonna say the
Dumb
Forrest Gump
happened?
poster because it came out the same time as Forrest Gump, and all it said was "Dumb is as dumb does." Jim Carrey and
So
Jeff Daniels
Ah.
Christmas.
Here you
Yep.
go. Let
Interesting.
me go back to right here.
Or Dumb Happens. That's
Dumb
what it is.
Happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dumb Happens.
Christmas,
Look,
Christmas, winter.
Winter. So yes,
Yes, I
that's
remember this
number
poster.
one. Now let me get out the Forrest Gump one because I was trying to find an image that had both of them together, but no one was like, "Really, guys? You don't? No one put these two together?" But we'll show off the Forrest Gump one because
Well, not only that, Lloyd is basically dressed like Forrest Gump. Think about it. Kind of like, well, not exactly, but he's got kind of the high water pants going on.
oh, he's got definitely the high pants. That's for sure. That is for sure. Forrest poster, man. If there's one thing I've learned that Forrest
Life
Gump
is like a
led me
box
on,
of chocolate.
it was bubblegum shrimp.
You
I
never
ate
know
that
what you're gonna
restaurant,
get.
and it sucked. There you go, folks. Tom Hanks' Forrest Gump right there is the other poster. So
Yep.
yeah, right. That was a smart, clever marketing technique. I can see people like, hold on. I thought that was Forrest Gump. Well, it's because it's not Forrest Gump. There's also another movie like that. And of course, let's get back to our great dream here. With
We're
here
still
we
in the
go, here we
fucking
go.
dream sequence. Holy shit!
I clipped too much tonight. This is my favorite movie. One of my all-time
clipped too
That's
far.
all right. I was just like, holy crap! I thought we were
know,
farther than
right?
this.
Yeah, we should.
That's all
be.
right.
I kept clipping. I'm like, oh crap.
Do you
We all know
realize
why
what
you
you've done?
Yeah.
Mark, we
Max
know,
will be
we
back.
understand.
And Lauren Holly is just so smoking hot in this movie. It's like she's
God, yeah.
perfect for this part.
She
It's
was-
like, oh
she
my
was
goddess
perfect
in
for
this.
many years.
Yeah, yeah. She's
My
amazing.
first exposure to her was Band of the Hand from 1986.
You shouldn't have exposed yourself to her. You'll probably get arrested.
I was gonna say I heard that wrong. I was the only one. Man, Bruce.
This is where they get on the wrong exit, right? Because this is like a scene
Yeah,
straight
they're
out of
going
Planes,
the
Trains, and
wrong way.
Automobiles. Yep.
How do they know we're going the wrong way?
Ah, he's drunk. He don't know where we're going.
Do you feel this vehicle is safe for highway travel?
You just drove halfway across the country in the wrong direction.
Oh, come on. You've never made a mistake before. No one's perfect.
I thought the Rocky Mountains would be a lot more rockier than this. Yeah, that John,
John
Denver's
Denver
full of
is
shit,
full of
man.
shit.
So this is the first scene they shot together here.
Some Philly broke your heart. No, it was a girl.
Freda Felcher. That comes in. That comes in the sequel, the infamous sequel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Remember Dumb and Dumber 2 from 2014?
Yeah.
And that
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
timely. Brian asked
Yeah,
White,
not quite as good.
I think
I didn't
honestly,
hate it as much as
there's a
everybody
lot-
else, though.
And I don't think it's just that, because here's the thing: I don't even think it opened up to good box office numbers.
Oh no, I think it only made like 29 million altogether or some shit like that. It did not do well.
I think there was just a lack of interest. I think if more people gave it a shot, maybe it wouldn't have been so reviled. Obviously, it wasn't as reviled as people that we do not speak.
You know,
of,
I bet you
but
if he
I
would
think
have
there's
waited,
lack of interest.
if they would have waited and done it between Sonic 1 and 2, it would have turned out differently. Because I think at this point, Jim Carrey was on kind of a
low point.
He's long past his whole phase of the comedy. If he had done it maybe around like after like he did something like I don't know Bruce Almighty, where he was still doing comedy, maybe not as much as he was, but he's still doing it because
that too, or done it a few years sooner. Absolutely, yeah.
Sunshine. I just think this was not the type of movie that like felt like it needed a sequel. So people were like, "Oh, hey, we're demanding a sequel," because they wrapped up in a boat.
Sorry, I like this. Get off the phone.
Get off the.
Like this little nerd is going to threaten the mob boss too, right? Or the mobster.
Oh, you almost got me mad.
Get off the. Look at the.
I can't hear you.
I'm right here. Yeah. And of course, this doesn't work with cell phones these days, so I just love that. Boom.
Oh, too good. Too
I got in an argument with an ex who swore up and down that was Jeff Goldblum, and I'm like, no, it's fucking not.
No.
It's a wish version of Jeff Goldblum,
right?
Nope.
No way. I'll give you 3-1 odds. Oh, this is what. Yeah, I'm gonna get you. No, you're not.
I'm gonna get you.
Because that's the Dumb and Dumber right there. That's a perfect example, right?
Yeah.
Because Harry got him, but then Harry's so fucking dumb he doesn't even realize he got him.
Oh man. Hold on, we missed did we miss the part where they already went to oh no, we haven't gotten that. I was gonna say where they go
no. Like I said, we're way back.
Harry gets his foot on fire. He gets his
yeah, I have to speed it up. I'll have to skip some stuff.
No, it's all right. I was saying, because I'm waiting to do some Colorado stuff here, but we haven't got there yet. I'm like waiting for Colorado.
Oh, dude.
Well, the lines are so good too. When you're clipping, you want to get the lines,
right?
Oh, no.
I know.
This is so funny. God, you just would want to kill them. You'd want to.
Hey guys, you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Ma.
I guess this is something Jim would do all the time to piss people off on like In Living Color and shit.
I wonder how many takes they did this in. Maybe if it was one take or whether they had to do multiple.
I don't know. I think it's the first taste, Brian, because the whole thing was Jim would do this. I guess this is the few times where he'd improvise. He'd do shit like this just to get a genuine reaction out of Jeff.
Yeah.
So Jeff would have no idea this shit was coming.
Now,
We won't skip it.
There's a rumor they were trying to get Richard Dreyfuss or Chris Elliott to play the Daniels Lloyd or character.
I never heard those names come up. No, but like, yeah.
Mock.
I could see them trying to go for. It's like the thing is they wanted comedians in the movie. That was a thing. So I'm sure like that short list of people who said no was like, like the typical Robin Williams.
Yeah.
At that time, like I said, they did try Steve Martin and Martin Short at one point to try and get them to do it. They were the closest I think they got. But yeah, I mean, there wasn't a lot of teams at this point, like, as well. Like, so like these two getting put together like this was just an odd pairing to begin with. And they were banking on, Jim Carrey hitting big 3 times in a year. That's crazy.
I mean, you used to get so many comedy double acts back in the old days, and I don't think I can recall any now.
That's what I mean. Like, if you would have made this in the 60s or 70s, you'd have had, anyone from the Rat Pack. You could have done, like, Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis or something like, you know what I mean? Like,
a whole bunch of them, yeah.
Not only were they banking on Carey 3 times in a row one year, but 3 times in a row on all original movies. Like, that's not something that just like happens.
The closest thing you could say was like The Mask was based on a comic, but as we've talked about on Meat earlier, it was so far removed from what the original Mask comic was that it's barely, you could almost barely say it's the same. Like the only thing that it shares in is like the look of Jim Carrey as the Mask and the concept.
That's a John Hughes type thing. That's a John Hughes type thing.
This whole thing with, well, not only that, the Mockingbird song was in National Lampoon's Vacation.
So it's a bit, that's all very John Hughes. Yeah, this bit.
There's some more people. Let's pick them up.
Yeah, that's
a
it.
music
Because the
band
mob
in the
boss
back of
is
the
about
van.
to shoot him. Yeah.
Who needs a radio? Mock.
There's a polka band and trains, planes, and automobiles. But
yeah, the polka band and planes, trains, and Home Alone as well.
Yeah.
I will
or
not
sure thing when they sing the show.
Springy Brothers. No.
I saw this.
This is the
scene,
pepper scene.
and I was
yeah.
like, "What the fuck with the ketchup and mustard?"
Jim Carrey doing that with the ketchup, and that was another on the spot thing he did. Because he just done it regularly.
He wasn't supposed to do that.
No. For the first few takes, he just did it normally. So then the last time, he just slams them down on the fucking table.
And then they score it up, and he gets it to land in his mouth. Bro, it's like pretty talented.
That's the beauty of this movie is like, and you can tell just because there's such flat shots, like they don't cut a lot. It's because they would just let the camera roll, and you just let Jim be Jim, right? And Harry react, or Jeff react, basically, yeah. Or in this case, the best part is this is like a Three Stooges act right here now.
Yeah,
you have literally got like Larry, Curly, and Moe at this point, right? Well, what he said is he saw. This is where Jim, didn't want a comedian because he saw him do this and he handed him the thing. He's like, "Yeah, here, that works." So he does it because he had to one up him somehow,
right?
Because like the script says, he just squirts him in his mouth or whatever. I think, or that's what they initially had come up with on the scene there.
So that's what Daniels does. Yeah, he just squirts.
Yeah, so he just took what Daniels did and upped it one. And then the same thing with Daniels. Like he would always say is, whatever Jim would do was dumb. And when he would react, it was always something dumber. Right? Like that was always the way to go.
I agree with this comment, RG Godzilla. That would have been a cool ass pairing to have seen. I would like Abbott and Costello. Yeah, I would have been absolutely down for that. That would have been freaking awesome. That would definitely make sense, especially with the type of comedy that they're going for. Feeling better, girls.
Yeah.
Oh man, the CPR had me. It still has me dying to this day because you're just seeing Carrie looks like he's just trying to make out with him.
Blame me. What? That was his last words. Well, not if you don't count the gurgling sounds.
You gotta admit that the hairdresser on this movie deserves an Oscar. I mean,
yeah. Well, dude.
Well, like I said, Harry or Jeff Daniels, he did that himself. That was all his own thing. Because were you not in here when I first said that? Like, I know you came in a little later.
Tom, I rarely listen to you, Tom.
So. I know you do, but yeah, that was the whole thing. He would do is before each shot, he would take his hair and go like this, and then he would like whip his head and headbang and spin around and do everything to make himself dizzy.
Page boy dragged through hedge backwards, Luke. Yeah.
No, it was all this character is all Jeff Daniels basically, all the physicalities.
Pretty cool.
But 70s, you bringing up that point earlier. Like I said, like Jim, about whoever did the hair, yeah, they do deserve an award because when
makes such a difference.
This was my
I think Jim Carrey came up with his hair too, though. That's the other thing. He's like, just give me a bowl cut.
And you can't imagine them not having those now. I mean, I
know. That's what I mean. Yeah. For me, being my first movie seeing Jeff Daniels, this is why I thought he naturally was looked at. That's why I was so confused when I saw him look clean cut. I was just like, "Who are you? Give me Dumb and Dumber Jeff Daniels. Who is this guy?"
And I was waiting for anybody else to bring up the chipped tooth, but I guess I'll bring it up finally since nobody else.
No, go ahead. I was going to.
And that, of course, was I believe when Jim was a teenager. He had chipped his tooth, and so he had a cap on it. And so for this movie, he removed the cap. So that's his actual tooth. I'm so glad
he did. I'm so glad he removed it for this. Best decision.
It is completely this character.
Mm-hmm. I mean, between the bowl cut and the chipped tooth, like that's just like
the bowl cut's all him too. And I think he gave it to himself the first time. He literally just put a bowl on his head and cut his hair. Because that's what he said. It would look like this guy would just give himself a haircut. That's what he had said.
Had no money, right?
Yeah, because they had no money. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what you get when your pet's.
Don't worry, I know CPR.
Yeah,
he uses his leg.
What the hell is that? It's not CPR.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck he's doing.
Well, every position is the ratio.
Making it worse.
Like that.
And then he freaking pounds on his chest and then was trying to make out with it.
His faces in this movie are so great.
He's doing
it. It'll look a lot easier if you just lay back and let it happen, or whatever he says here. Yeah.
Oh damn!
And then here comes the rat poison.
Me.
Pills. Oh, pills are good. Drink them down. There you go. And then he looks at the bottle. And he's just like, oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Really? He was nominated
Yes.
for a Razzie?
That's
Fuck
not
off,
I just put the wiki in your movies tab on your Gilded and the production side and all this stuff like the Razzie, all the.
Oh, the critics hated this movie. They fucking hated it.
Wow. Well,
Even though they admitted it made them laugh, they still hated it.
still
Like
hated
Roger
it?
Ebert said, like he never laughed harder through the rest of the movie than he did at the PD scene. But I think he felt, he doesn't say this in his review, but I think he felt so bad about laughing so hard at that he felt he had to give this movie a negative. Because you got to remember, when this movie came out, this was a different kind of. I mean, it's PG-13, and it's not like it's a, how do I put this? The closest you'd have to something like this is Beavis and Butthead, like this kind of humor, like this kind of tongue-in-cheek, not dark humor, but like. I mean, this scene is almost quintessential dark humor, but
yeah, they killed the guy. It's like, yeah,
and he blamed
Talked
me.
about killing a bird.
You
is
heard his
bad
last
enough.
words.
They fled the scene of a crime. I thought about that, which I obviously go with the logic of the movie, but yeah, they fled the scene of a crime because that would you call that like attempted murder? I guess.
Well, he was going to
Well, they
murder
didn't know it was
them,
rat
so.
poison.
That's the funky part
but
is,
they don't
well,
know
here's the
that.
thing is the bad guys think that there's some assassins, right? Like that's
Yeah, super duper assassins like James Bond.
right.
you
the
know?
FBI figures out pretty quick that they're fucking morons, right?
Yeah. They're driving a Shaggleby. Here, I got a couple more clips to go. Yeah.
Pull over! No, it's a cardigan, but thanks for noticing.
It's so clever. Dumb, but it's a dumb joke, but a clever joke at the same time.
Yeah. Now here,
His head fell off.
His head fell off. Yeah, he was pretty old.
It's pretty old.
That's what we've got to look forward
see,
to.
and Jeff has some great lines too. That's the thing.
Do you guys feel that this was like the first start of the resurgence of the Slav humor? Is this like, because in '98 we had Something About Mary, and then we had what was it, American Pie movies start up. So it was like the second wind for the National Lampoons or the kids of National Lampoons. Do you think this is that?
College comedies.
This is the closest to a National Lampoons movie that's not, because right around this time is when they sold National Lampoons, actually. Yeah, so it wasn't the same after that. But yeah, I mean, these guys took that mantle on, like Jim and Chris Farley, Adam Sandler for a while until he made Little Nicky. You know, and after that it went downhill.
Daddy, what was the other one? Billy Madison.
Happy Gilmore.
Dude, I will not forget when I first saw Bob Barker beat the shit out of Adam Sandler.
The Price is Wrong,
I
bitch.
died because no one expected. I thought, oh man, Adam Sandler's a hockey player. Of course he's gonna destroy him. But then it ends up being the complete opposite. And I was like, holy shit, this is the greatest scene ever.
Yeah, the fight. Yeah, they're going at it.
Oh, dude, the scream that Lloyd does when he sees the guy from the bar earlier. Oh, when he sees him. Because
it's cut so much better here.
Terrifying.
It is.
It's funny still here, you know, and the other way it gets darker and it's like,
just give me the goddamn number.
Right? And you get the inference here too with the the quote in the stall, like, be here, what does it say? Be here for man they love 250.
That's right.
Yeah.
The graffiti.
I mean, it doesn't go overboard, and it's you get what they're going for there. And
what sells the joke is that it's Seabass, right? And then it's not that he's going to kick his ass; is he gets that kind of look on his face. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Seabass was the one who was aiming for homoerotic aspirations in this movie. I'm just saying. He was
wanted to hug him in his tight shorts. Love. That's right. Yes, he wanted to hug him on the beach in his tight shorts.
He wanted to.
Just give me the damn number.
As if she would even contemplate going out with a guy like that.
Look, if you're gonna be pushy,
You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
see, and I think it screws up. If I
Man, I
remember
love
right,
you.
bless you, whoever's sneezing. And I think if I remember right, the way this cuts in the unrated version, it kind of screws with the timing of all this shit too, right?
Yes, it does.
Because it
yeah,
has
'cause I
to
just
drag
watched
it all out, and like, yeah, it's kind of dumb.
It's much longer. Yeah. So when I was watching,
It
like,
doesn't match up as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So this and watch, you can see that his pants are down. His pants are
Yeah,
down here.
I
when
did
the-
notice that. His pants were, dude, he was looking
See there,
to
yep.
get a blowy. He was looking
Because
to
of the
get
way it
blowy.
intercuts. Yeah, the way it
Yeah.
intercuts, like the urgency of the fire feels weird, if I remember right, or something like that. It's
Yeah.
like,
I don't know if it's gay unless you like make eye contact while there's the blowjob.
Or you
Blowjob's
pay
not
for
that
it.
gay.
Anybody who says that is totally gay. Just
Exactly.
putting that out there.
And you see what Seabass's hat is there? Drive him. What's it say? Drive him. Something.
Juke 'em?
If we had the Blu-ray,
99 'em?
maybe.
I think he says 99.
49
'em?
him.
Or is it
49
Wine 'em,
him?
Dine 'em, 69 'em?
69. Yeah.
It's something 69.
Pretty toxic hat.
I
Yeah.
think that's what it says. Yeah, that's what it says.
Nah, it's gay.
Yeah.
Gay.
Well, Colorado is pretty gay. I mean,
Well, now that we're in Colorado.
it's pretty gay.
Now
I mean,
we're in
Brahma's there.
Colorado.
So, you know.
Okay, because they did
Brahma
actually
was,
shoot in Colorado, but of course it was too expensive to shoot in Aspen, so they shot around Aspen. And of course they shot a lot in the infamous Stanley Hotel, which is where a lot of the cast and crew stayed.
Yes.
And Jim Carrey
Shiny.
insisted on staying in room 217. That lasted an hour.
217.
That's the infamous room from
Oh,
The Shining.
Shining.
Oh,
yeah.
Shining
That The
remote,
Shining's
Shining
based
remote.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
He lasted an hour, I guess. And he refused to go back in afterwards.
Yeah.
He saw some kids on tricycles. And then he
Lord.
left.
You know, I'm not
Scared Jim
superstitious, and
Carrey,
I
it's
wouldn't do
too
that.
Yeah.
Just
I
no
forgot to
point
mention
tempting
too
fate.
in the beginning of the movie when they're driving out of Providence, Rhode Island, when you see the that big bug on the side of the road, that's an exterminator. That's been there for like 40 years. There's an exterminate. So they're actually driving on 95 there, and you can actually catch that. 'cause
Oh,
they
here's the
start
John
out in Rhode
Denver
Island.
line.
I expected
Yeah.
Right
Rocky
in the
Mountain
prairies
Rock
now.
there.
That John Denver's full of shit, man.
These lines are so fucking great. It's just like, oh, I've got to put that there.
Oh man,
And this is another one that the audience just lost at the theater. I don't remember hearing
Yeah,
anything
make
for
a
like the next
mistake.
2 minutes. Just from that butt crack, they're just like,
so we backtracked a tad. A tad?
Ted, Lloyd, you just drove
man.
6 of the way across the country in the wrong direction. Yeah, so
Man. And they did all that in a doggy van. Just remember that. So that what was it called? Mitmut? Mitmut? Is that what it's called? Mitmut?
Something
Mitmut,
like that.
I think. Yeah.
Mutt cuts.
Mud cuts. Yeah.
Oh, mud cuts. Ah, thank you. Thank
So
you.
much crack in this movie, yeah.
RJ got Mr. Perfect. Yeah. I'm walking home. Yeah. Yes, right. That's right, Boosh. The shaggin' wagon. Yep. That's what I had a vehicle I used way back in the day, and I called it the shaggin' wagon. And I didn't really know it. And I just used that name just because I got it from Dumb and Dumber. I was like, well, of course I'm gonna say that. Shaggin' wagon. He gets his little
I love this. This is just
they drive through cold ass weather, boogers hanging out, cats
I just love it, Jim's attitude.
And it's a lawnmower engine on that moped.
Yeah, it's a little
It's not even
one stroke or whatever
not
it
even
is.
like
yeah.
a regular moped. You watch it.
No.
String to
Those
start.
things, luckily, if you're lucky, you can get them up to like 20 miles an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
More horsepower, okay.
Yeah, so, I would. I drive that.
70 miles a gallon in this hog.
This is a totally unexpected reaction.
Well, here's this first time we do this because this is an ongoing joke. And we also there's a both of them joke that keeps coming up too, that this is why I think some people, if you really enjoy this Dumb and Dumber 2, if you watch them back to back, because they did do a lot of stuff that picks up with from the first movie, because there's a lot of both of them jokes. There's jokes like this. There's callbacks and throwbacks to the original, but it's all within the characters still, and it sets them up as kind of having their own little gimmicks.
I love that. I guess I should at least watch it just to see.
Well, and this is a scene as to why you're like, why would these two put up with each other for so long? Well, this is why, because they're two fucking kids. That's why.
They've got no one else either.
That too. They got nobody else. But it's kind of like Beavis and Butthead. They're on the same wavelength, right? And Lloyd is just smart enough to manipulate Harry when he needs to.
Yeah, he's got a bit of cunning in him. I love the way that Jim Carrey is Lloyd here is he thinks he's super cool riding on this thing. He's leaning back and he's like he's Jack Nicholson in Easy Rider or something.
Yeah. Love that.
Oh, this is good.
I gotta stop and go to the bathroom. Just go, man. Just go. Oh, it's warm. And then that's not enough, right? Like they pay it off when they get there because he's stuck through. Like that was the one that I think I almost fell out of the seat at the fucking theater because I didn't even expect that. I was just like,
oh, it sure is warm.
It sure is warm. Oh man, that's so weird.
You were wearing 2 gloves this whole time? Well, yeah, we were going to the Rockies.
That line I love. Yeah.
This is so
the cars,
5 mile long lineup behind them,
blocking up. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
They finally get to ask.
This comes the most Mad Mardigan scene in the movie.
It's not. And they got the briefcase still. Look at that piece of shit moped.
It got them there, though. It did get them there.
It got them there. Yeah.
So Jim Carrey wasn't
70
wrong.
miles to the gallon.
It got them there.
We're there.
Frozen snot, man.
That looks like a genuine smile and laugh on
he's stuck with, his pissy panty. He's still attached to him. That's homoerotic right there.
Got a little nippy going through the past.
What?
It's rolling.
And this line is great too.
Favorite scene.
Yeah, it's right here.
Jesus, look at the butt on that.
It's like
work out.
Yeah.
In the movie theater, that butt was much better, and you guys know what butt I'm talking about, not the other butt. Yeah. That was a spectacular ass in the movie theater. Yeah.
Oh.
He must work out. Yeah.
Oh.
Ian's trumpets.
He doesn't even remember her fucking name. This is great. I don't really recall. I know it starts with an S. Is it Swanson? Swim? Swammy? Slippy? Slappy? Simon? Salmon? Samsonite. I was way off. Slippy, Slimmin,
Slappy, Swenson, Swanson. Maybe it's on the briefcase. Oh yeah, it's right here.
And it's Swanson, of course.
I was way off. I knew it started with an S though.
Samsonite.
There's no Samsonite in the book, Lloyd. She must be.
And that's another gag that wouldn't work today, right? No telling.
Yeah, right.
Snow.
No one would get it. No.
Do they still make books?
No, not really. I mean, well, yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes you have yellow.
Most of they don't have much in them anymore because most people are on cell phones now. But yeah,
you should wear
these extra gloves. My hands are starting to get sweaty. Harry, your hands are cold.
Extra gloves. You had this pair.
Your hands are freezing, or whatever it is.
Yeah. We're in the Rockies, man.
Gonna kill you.
Kill you, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Harry, you got that crazy look in your eye.
I'm gonna kill you. Oh, he just using the damn table. Oh. And then he does that laugh too with it.
Yeah.
That twisted laugh. A son that died a long time ago.
I'm gonna throw this in the lake.
And then out comes Pandora's box.
IOUs.
Yeah.
You don't want to hang on to that one. That one's for a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
We're good for it.
We're good for it.
Oh.
We're gonna pay back every penny.
Yeah. Pay it back. Yes. Oh, my face.
What's funny is that they're smart enough to figure out that they can use it. Like,
I know, right?
Small
you would think they'd be dumb enough, and they'd like. I was waiting for when I saw this in the theater. I was waiting for the next scene for them to be burning the money.
Oh,
like,
burning it to random people.
It's a good thing we cost this money, or we'd be freezing. Yeah, out of wood.
Wood. Oh, damn. Oh, the Hotel Danbury. Oh man, and this is where they get
so
the
this
nails.
is the whatchamacallit hotel, the Shining Hotel,
Stanley
the real
Hotel.
one, the real actual.
Yeah. They made the place. They changed the place to make it look less scary too, because obviously you can look at the hotel from The Shining, it just looks like a death trap. So they definitely look more, comedy like. There it comes.
You wouldn't recognize it. I don't think you'd recognize it unless you're really looking, right?
No, definitely no. I would have not, because I didn't know about it being the Stanley Hotel. I don't think till I was in my teens. So I was just like, oh, now I look at it, I can see it now. But at the time, I was like, whoa, what? Because you don't look at that and you don't think that, and that's how good that they made you believe it was just another hotel.
Okay, here's some things that were written on the. I didn't know this either. Things that were written on the bathroom wall in the scene.
Yes.
Why are you looking up here when the joke is in your hand?
Oh.
Bye, William Frawley. William Frawley was on I Love Lucy. He played Fred.
Okay.
And then Nambla rules.
Oh God, no.
And then the last thing is, why the hell is everybody so goddamn angry? Yeah.
Oh, damn.
And yes, his hat says wine 'em, dine 'em, 69 'em.
Sorry, guys.
And his shirt says, happiness is seeing your mother-in-law's picture on a milk carton.
Oh, wow. Damn. Oh, that I remember they'd cry at that commercial, and nothing will ever break us apart. And they start using the dollar bills and using that to wipe their tears on their eyes. Mary, with the briefcase. And then it all comes together. Damn. Freaking damn. I would okay. This scene here where they get all prepping, where they do the orange and blue suits, it inspired me in real life. I didn't wear an orange and blue suit, but I have a good friend of mine who I've known for I'd say about half my life, and he had a wedding coming up, and I didn't find out about until late in the game because of he was one of those guys I lost touch with, and nothing bad happened, just life happens. And now it's on like his girlfriend reached out and say, hey, I know it's a little soon, but can you show up to Scott's wedding? I'm like, well, of course I show up to his wedding. So, I got a hold of one of my friends, like, we got to get going. And I got myself a purple suit to the wedding. And I'll tell you what, when I arrived there with my buddy, they're like, I made a scene with that purple suit, and people are just like, "Holy, what is going on here?" My buddy Scott, who's getting married, is like, "Dude, everyone's talking about your purple suit at this wedding." It's like I was like, yeah, this is wonderful. So yeah, the Dumb and Dumber inspired me to make a scene arriving at a wedding. Well, doing just that. I will actually dig that photo for you guys. It's actually the last time I had short hair, actually. So let me dig for that right now, just for all you wonderful folks in the chat. Let's do this. I know it's here. I'm gonna find it. I'm digging through my Instagram just for all you guys, so you can see me in the purple suit. Ah, got it. All right. All right, let's share the screen so we can show you guys the suit. Says I'm breaking up. Am I breaking up?
Yeah,
You were. Yeah, I
was
wasn't sure.
there, yeah.
Yeah, I never know. Like, I don't want to interrupt. Yeah.
He's breaking up. He's
My
breaking
God,
up.
you've changed race as well.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Shit, how did you do that?
Where'd you get him? Africa.
How did you manage that?
Yep, I got.
You do
that
have short hair there,
suit.
Nick.
I got that.
Deep purple, man.
The week
Picture
of
the
the wedding.
Gyllenhaals or something about
It's
you
like
now.
a Joker outfit.
You look
Yep, that was me and my buddy Dan right there.
Cool.
Yeah,
Great
that
picture.
was good times in the world. Thank
Here's
you,
some,
Sol. Thank you. Yeah,
here's
back
some
when
more
the
trivia.
28 flavor. Yes,
I do
lay out
remember
some
hearing
trivia.
this. Jim Carrey initially wanted Nicolas Cage instead of Jeff Daniels. I do remember that because they were
That
friends.
him and
Yeah.
Gary Oldman. They well, they were trying to look for established stars at first.
And for a while there, when they weren't sure if they were going to be able to get Jim Carrey or anybody big for Lloyd Christmas, Harlan Williams, the guy who played the motorcycle cop, was actually up for Lloyd. I do remember that now too. Yeah.
A good thing they didn't end up getting married, because the other joke was then she would have been Merry Christmas, right? If Lloyd married Mary. Merry Christmas, yeah.
They did get married. Only lasted a year though.
Yeah, not too long.
You guys,
This scene is
God.
just so nuts.
Oh.
It's so gross.
Oh,
like,
dude, with the
like their
ketchup.
nose hairs.
I like how she's wearing a face shield.
Yeah.
The face shield always made me laugh. I always wondered, like, how did his toenails not slice through his shoes? Like, I was like, damn. Like,
Well, this scene was
both
so
things
a little too stupid for me.
Yeah,
That's about the only scene I thought was. Well, I shouldn't say only, but yeah, this is just stupid, but stupid
I
fun.
think the closest to that would be that we're going to need more wax in the 40-year-old virgin. We're going to need more wax.
Yeah.
We're gonna need a bigger boat. Oi, damn! This movie's okay. Yeah, the
Oh,
orange
this
suit, man.
suit. Oh, God.
Yeah, I love that orange suit. I was actually originally trying to find an orange suit, and I couldn't find one quick enough. So when I found the purple one, I'm like, you know what? This is the next
purple's
best
better.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, no! If I had, dude, if I could have had that orange, but it worked out once again having the purple suit. But yeah, Dumb and Dumber inspired me to go for a color that would stand out, because you see those suits and you're like, okay, what's their deal?
Look like
What's the
rejects from a Busby Berkeley movie, you know. Like, the old
This is
dance
funny.
movies.
A Time Out review basically pointed out. There was a Time Out review that basically called out movies like Forrest Gump and Nell compared to this. It said at least this movie isn't trying to romanticize idiots.
There is a point to that.
Wow.
They did go full retard here.
Dude, he went full on retard.
Full retard.
You never go full retard. Never, man. Come on. Do it.
You did do Tropic Thunder, right?
We have not done Tropic Thunder.
You are really cutting up, dude.
Yeah, you're breaking up, Nick. Yep.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna log back out because it shows on my side that there's good
on
volume.
U.S. Cellular.
All right. let me back out and come back
wait.
in.
Hang on, stop. Keep
Now
talking.
you're fine. Don't
fine
move.
now.
Whatever you do.
Chuck.
We should watch that Pacific Bell commercial and see how you cry to that one. Yeah,
The one with Jonathan Brandy's in it.
Am I better?
Yeah, you're better now.
You're better
Am I
now.
better? Okay. That's weird. I don't know what's
I think
going
you're still
on.
on a little delay, but yeah, you're better.
Oh, we'll play a
That's
clip
weird,
about
'cause
beer.
Someplace warm. A place where the beer flows like wine. Where beautiful women instinctively flock like the salmon of Capistrano.
Beer flows like wine.
Like wine.
Oh, here, this is one of the more toxic
mouth.
lines in this, right? In the movie.
I know. It's,
I love
it's
that.
Look at the fun bags on that house.
Who's
I'm surprised they actually understand what Chianti is and they could pronounce it right.
Because they're just doing the line from The Silence of the Lambs. That's why.
Yeah.
Phonetically.
Oh,
We can be classy.
You never seen Silence of the Lambs?
It's been a
He just live out with father beans and a
long
nice
time.
Chianti.
94. when I saw that.
Fucking like, it's been like, God, 15, maybe almost 20 years since I've seen it. So it's been a long time. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, but yeah, have not seen it since then.
Nice Hooters, both of them. Say, is that in the unrated cut or is that in just this one?
Oh, that's in both. That's in both. Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say because there's your both of them joke again in this
Yeah,
movie.
that's definitely theatrical because I remember he's talking to the old lady. She's
I know
like,
they did it a couple times in the
hard.
second one too, but that's one of the funnier ones because he's like, "Yeah, show us your tits," and then Harry goes, "Yeah, both of them."
I'm just going to sidetrack the whole thing by saying if you want a Hannibal Lecter movie, watch Manhunter. Way better.
Yeah,
than
good movie. Good movie.
Manhunter.
I have not seen
I'll
the
say
I
man.
love
no
these
more.
suits.
But does he hunt men down?
Have you ever
Kind
seen
of.
Red Dragon?
Yes, I
Yes.
do like.
It's basically Red
Been a
Dragon
long
before
time.
Red Dragon. It's the same movie. It's the same story.
It's Michael
They did it.
Mann.
They did it way back when in the day. Yeah,
Based on Red Dragon, yeah.
it has a different guy playing Hannibal Lecter in it.
It's Brian Cox, Scottish actor. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
He
the guy
doesn't-
from X-Men too. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't ham it
Yeah,
up. He plays him
I
deadly
remember
straight.
that. I remember
No hamming
Brian
it up.
Cox. Yeah. Hot damn, dude.
Yeah. Michael Mann,
Nice set of hooters you got there.
both of them.
They're so retarded that it's like I guess you could say they are unintentionally toxic at times.
Yeah.
Because
Oh no, they're uninhibited when it comes to showing their
no
when they're
filter.
well, yeah, like I mean, especially Lloyd, right? Like he is unbridled.
That's a rapist wit.
Rapier wit. But it's
rapier
that
wit,
kind of
yeah.
toxic unbridledness that two guys that have never really had any luck with women get.
Well,
you know, put out the vibe.
there was Freda Felcher, and that was it. Well, we've come to find out they never did actually have sex with her. You're right. Oh yeah, spoilers for a 10-year-old movie.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Thing is, he's not wrong. She does have a nice set of hooters.
I beg your pardon. Oh, the owls are beautiful.
Pretty much, Boosh. Yeah. 12, 13-year-old boys,
Yes,
basically. Yeah.
Oh, so
Nice set of hooters you got there.
Both
That's
of them.
worth playing twice.
oh.
Yeah, she's smoking. Yeah.
I used to have a beer keep. Then it's
Yes, Davina, we know.
And the funny thing is,
Unbelievable.
he's so innocent here that he does a great job of picking her up too, right? You know, like
That's what I
normal
mean.
guy
Yeah.
a normal guy might have been.
He's not even trying, really. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
beauty of it. Yeah.
No, he's just
Really,
being
any
Harry.
unusual breeding. Like, and she's totally like, yeah. No, mostly doggy style.
Yeah, mostly
Yeah, we called it a bullshit.
Oh, he successfully made it a bulldog with a Shih Tzu. Yeah, we called it a bullshit. He doesn't laugh at answers.
The thing with his hands too, that's totally Jeff Daniels, you know, like the thing he does.
That was funny seeing you do that.
Which is funny because I had a friend when he was a kid, like I knew when I was a kid, that he would do that when he would laugh. It was hilarious. He would do that with his hands.
Harry knew it was funny because he laughs at his own joke right after he does it.
I love her smile.
I love how this just backfires on Lloyd. Like he's expecting for Harry to introduce him, make the first move, do all this, and then all of a sudden she's all like talking to Harry, and she's like, "Bro, what? That was supposed to be my big move that he made for me," and it's just like it's all you know coming up Millhouse for Harry instead of Lloyd. He gets to have the afternoon with her and everything. Oh, Mary needs to hit the slopes with. Oh, and now of course this is where he sets up the time. I wanted the time to set up for the bar. It ends up being it says 10 o'clock, and he assumes that it's 10 o'clock a.m. and not 10 p.m.
Yeah,
Yep. That shit backfires, and the dialogue that's
He's a raging alcoholic.
yeah. Oh man, dude, I laughed so hard at that. I was like, these guys, seriously. Why'd you ever meet her in a bar at 10 in the morning? I just figured she was I just figured she was
a raging alcoholic.
Now here's
Oh
the
my
best
God,
scene in the
we
whole
landed
movie.
on the moon.
Oh yeah,
This is
With
the best
death
scene.
of the bird, yeah, the owl. I meant to say.
Snow owl better.
We killed
That's
that
obviously
bird. We
supposed to
killed
be a-
ours. They're sending a message.
That's obviously supposed to be a spotted owl. So back in the 80s, they had shut down all these logging communities to save some owls. I'm not getting to whether it's right or wrong, but there were a lot of people that weren't too happy that they lost their jobs over these spotted owls. And then they found them, you know, like living all over the place. Like they found one living in like, a Walmart sign or something. You're like, it's like, well, wait a minute. We got to save all these trees, right? But anyways, this scene just killed me. I just kept rewinding it over and over and over. Kept watching it. It's just like couldn't believe that's so politically incorrect. You know, when the PC movement was just starting to do this, right at this time, it was like, holy shit, they went there. They just fucking went there. And all these people, all them mucky mucks, you can just imagine all them, going crazy. Like, I don't believe it.
We already got the tuxes.
Yeah, a lot of birds are killed in this movie.
Yeah, poor Petey. Yeah.
Oh,
boy, this party really died.
Harry, I took care of it.
What a line, bro. This party really died. But
Maybe it was a coincidence. It was a message shape, pure and simple. We killed their bird, now they killed one of ours. Charles Rocket. Well, here's a controversial individual indeed, but one of the most controversial SNL stars of all time, I guess you'd say.
Can you tell us why or no?
Well, he just had a very crazy life.
Rock star.
Let's see here. I'll put all of this. Well, he self-deleted.
Oh, this is my favorite. Hang on, sorry, Tom, to interrupt you.
You're fine.
My favorite gag in the entire movie is there when he walks out the door and looks at the newspaper on the wall and goes, "No way!"
Yeah,
it's the moon landing, mainland on moon. No way. He doesn't even know what the moon landings. That's my favorite.
I mean, I can bring up that he got shit canned from SNL because he didn't get along with Eddie Murphy and Joe Pescopo. That was one thing. I believe he also said the F word on there once, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
You mean frack?
Yeah. Lloyd encountered the girl that Harry encountered at the gas station.
Sadly, he self-ended.
Sucks, yeah.
Yeah. Back in
Unfortunate.
2005, it looks like here. Jeez, yeah. Been that long already. Wow.
Oh,
And I don't know. I mean, I ski. It's like they're not taking the chair lift off for you.
Balls owner. You better.
Although, I don't know. I don't know too many people who do that by slitting their own throat, but we'll get into that. That's kind of controversial. Yeah. I don't believe he did it himself, is what I'm implying. But yeah, it's been long enough now.
The wood and the balls.
He was heavy into drugs and some other things too, so it's very plausible. But yeah. I think he had a pretty bad cocaine habit and stuff.
Dude, I love how he wailed at her with the freaking snowball. She's like, what the fuck?
I wonder if Stunt Brat was on this movie.
Oh, yeah.
That's a stunt woman there, obviously, right? Yeah.
He's really he's nuts.
Tom, did you ever see the movie PCU?
Oh, of course. Yeah, it's great.
Okay. That was a movie that was released about the same time as this. And just the comment about the dead owl made me think of that film.
That's a good one for Toxic Tuesday, PCU.
Man walks on the moon. No way.
We landed on the moon. This was all Jim Carrey improvisation.
That's my favorite joke in the whole film.
Because that was actually hanging on the wall in the bar, and he just happened to see it.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like he's got no clue.
He's going to tell everybody.
Oh, the infamous. This is the scene where shit hits the fan. No, it's not. No. We're getting closer there, but
yeah, that's why I was asking how far we are into the movie here. Yeah.
Oh no, we're getting there. No, Mark, you're doing fine. Honest, I'm good. Honest, I'm okay here. Keep it going at the pace we're going. We're having fun with this one. So, especially with the amount of great dialogue in this movie, I'm glad you got as much as you did. Your hard work deserves to be noticed.
Carrie's actually good in this scene. Like, this is a good dramatic scene here too with Carrie. Like, you really feel this. So Carrie's like, he's getting ill because his best bud is just like stabbed him in the back and screwed him over. Although the guy didn't do it on purpose, but I mean, and I always said comedians are the best actors too, because to pull off comedy, just you've got to have that timing, you got to have that talent. I mean, not easy to do. I mean, a lot of people can do dramatic roles, but when they try to pull off comedy, and that few seconds there, you actually really feel for Lloyd there too. It's like, you know, but you know, you kind of don't blame him for screwing over his, but you know, he's got a chance at Mary Swanson.
That's right.
And he knows that, and then you find out later that he knew that Carrie, you know, Lloyd was cheating on him with the other girl, so it's kind of payback. But I thought that was some good acting there in that scene. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
And then of course he gets his revenge here, right?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Turbolax.
Yes, indeed. And one of the most famous scenes in the film after this.
Dude. It's so memeable, and it's just one of those scenes. Apparently, even Clint Eastwood had spoken.
Oh, you stole my story. I know. It's all good.
I was just gonna say, because apparently Clint Eastwood admitted himself that he had moments like that. So he thought that the scene was not only funny, but apparently Clint Eastwood called it a relatable scene. So apparently he had moments like that in his life too. So. Yeah,
it actually gets a little funnier than that. The story, just to spread it out, because this is the full version of it. Jeff and Clint were going on a golf outing, and Jeff, I don't think had met Clint before, but he was excited, of course, and he was worried that, you know, what Clint would say about like this movie and some of the other stuff in his career if he brought it up. And I don't know how the movie came up, but Clint said he liked the movie. In fact, this is his favorite scene. And when he said why, he goes, because when he was going out on his first date in high school, this happened to him.
No way.
He showed up at the girl's house and got a case of the shits.
No way.
And ended up spending half the night in the fucking bathroom, he said. So to him, it was one of the most hilarious things he'd ever seen before. Yeah.
This is bad. It's great the way that they pay this off for her when she's at the door.
Yeah.
Just that's
it was better yet as the toilet don't work. Yeah.
Icing on the cake.
Oh, come on, they're so rich. How could they have a toilet that doesn't work? Right?
Well, I think it's supposed to be their weekend home, so they just probably haven't got it fixed yet. Yeah.
Or if there was going to turn out to be a bidet. Remember, we went to Europe and like at a friend's house, and we were on the road for like three hours, and like we're running to go to the bathroom, and I was like a 10-year-old kid, and like I didn't speak French that well. The family there's like the kid that was my age was like waving like no, don't use that, and I go in and I'm like I had to pee. I'm like, Dad, why is there a water fountain in the bathroom?
It's even worse
there.
What's even worse than having when you had to like unleash shithole on the toilet to only find out that the toilet is broken, because you could. I remember when I first saw the scene as a kid, I was just like, "Oh no!" The magic words, "The toilet doesn't flush." You felt the tension, the drama rise in this movie.
All right, I got to tell a really toxic story. So my buddy,
oh yes,
this is worth it. Yeah, so my buddy invites us down for a party. Right, this is just after college, right? And it turns out, well, there was a party that weekend, but he was moving to a new house, so we all had to help him over the weekend to help move. It's like, Larry, this is a shout out to Larry. Like, you didn't, motherfucker, you didn't tell us all that we're gonna help you move all day. Like, not that we wouldn't have, but maybe I would have bought like my back belt or something and some gloves. So we're moving all day. We go to the new house, and I go, I took him. All right, don't clip this, but I took a monster dump in his toilet, right? And I'm trying to flush it. And he's like, the water's not turned on. I'm like, well, you motherfucker, you're not paying. You're not getting paid for moving. I'm like, he's like, why'd you use the bathroom? Like, why? I've never seen a place where the water's turned off. So he was so pissed. I'm like, well, that's it. You got the moving services for free. I left you a package.
Well, you got people cracking up.
You did a Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Did that story come up during Caddyshack? I can't remember.
Yeah.
That's what Chevy Chase would do to his co-stars usually in his movies. He would go and take a shit in their trailer and clog up their toilet.
I can imagine that's the sort of thing he would do. Yes.
The lovely Sherry, you need to go back in time on here to see the purple suit Nick had. That way we can clip that for some good memes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The chat got to see me from, that was 5 years ago. Because I remember I shaved my head in April of 2018, bald to the razor, Steve Austin style. And then that photo was August, so 4 months after I shaved my head. That was me, basically. Full head of hair and all.
Your hair grew back pretty fast, though. What are you, like Logan? Not bad.
I'm a freaking weed, man. I had a buddy of mine who already had long hair when I had a shaved head, and I outgrew his long hair. And he was just like, we never understood it. I don't understand it, but I'm not a toilet expert, Boosh. I don't know how toilets work like that to know, but
I have to make it.
Leaving the kids in the pool. No, he didn't. He didn't just leave the kids in the pool. He took the Browns to the Super Bowl. Realized that there's not even going to be a halftime. Realized, oh shit, this game is just an absolute blowout. There's no fumbles here, guys. That's what happened with Mark's bathroom situation. It was a complete.
There was no water. There was no water. There's a house you're moving in with no water. It's like, well, that's what they do down here. They don't turn the water on for a few days. Like, not my problem.
I'm a septic guy. I put septics in. I empty them out, and I work with a plumbing company.
Oh,
and I have destroyed the company, the office toilet so much. They now have a permanent rental Skiddo can outside with my name on it. I'm not allowed to use the running water toilet inside the facility.
Ouch.
This shit has taken a turn. When I was in the Army, someone got drunk and pooped in the sinks in the Bronx, so the sergeant major revoked our weekend. Oh, man.
That happens. Things like that happen.
So
So you're
saying
telling
that
me I
there's-
desperately want to make love to a schoolboy? I don't. That was a big one in the theater. That's not what I meant. What I meant was,
I like you, Gerry. I like you a lot.
a lot.
Oh man, she looks blazed out of her mind.
God, we
after
said that so much back then.
Oh, you
A lot. So you're telling me there's a chance?
Oh.
Yeah.
1 in a million chance.
He likes those odds.
Only Lloyd would. Only fucking
What do you think
Lloyd
the chances are of a girl like you, a girl like me, and a guy like you?
Oh,
that line is
damn.
always quoted. It's always quoted. That's probably, is this the most famous line in the movie, do you think?
Oh, that's hard to say. What the actor.
It's the most memed line, I think, in the movie, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Man, yeah, that's tough because there's so many scenes in this that you could, parody.
Not good.
Whoa,
Not good, yeah.
like I don't know, Mark. That's a great question. I mean, I guess everyone in the chat could all just say what's their most memeable, quotable moment. I'll bet if we ask the chat, all 45 of you, thank you for sticking around with us, by the way. We've almost had the chat in here the entire time. It's stayed almost 50 people the entire time. That's nuts.
Nice.
Thank you guys, by the way, for that hour and 45 in. What chat to you? What to you is the most memeable, quotable moment in the movie? I just want to see what everyone feels is the moment that's the one, because there's so
Your
many of
favorite
them.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah, what's the moment that was the one for you? Because I bet you there's gonna be many different ones for many people here. I bet you. That just shows you once again how good this was. Because I bet you, since everyone's got so many different moments, I mean, especially for Tom, he mentioned he saw this in theaters. He had to see it different times so he can understand what was being said. Because, when you're laughing at jokes, you might be missing a joke because the audience is laughing.
But also by that third time, we're all quoting the lines, and we were clearly seeing it with a bunch of other people who probably had seen it before too, because they were doing the same kind of shit. Like, this is what that's what I can imagine it had to be like going to see like Caddyshack back in the day or something like that, or Animals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just go see it so many times, you start to know the lines, the famous scenes, and you scream them out to the screen, just like Rocky Horror Picture Show kind of thing.
To this day, I can recite Monty Python movies from start to finish.
Another great one, I'm sure. Like,
can
yeah,
recite them all.
Back in the day, that people would go see them enough times that you just in Cheech and Chong would be another one probably that yeah. I mean, this is in that pantheon, if not it's definitely in the top 10 best comedies ever of all time.
Agreed.
Oh yeah.
Especially pound for pound, how many laughs are in it and how.
You said pound.
Mr. Samsonite.
Mr. Samsonite.
About the briefcase.
Oh,
we intend to reverse you.
With IOUs.
You're going to want to hang on to that one.
It's a Lamborghini.
See, look at this right now. There's so many people who got so many different favorite moments. I love it. It shows you once again this whole movie. It's highlight after highlight after highlight. Like Dumb and Dumber was just straight up lightning in a bottle. It was just even once again. I say it would have been better if there was not as long of a wait. But it's just one of those things where even I don't know if they could have repeated themselves, because once again, it's just one of those things that they were just the right guys at the right place at the right time. There's sometimes when you make something so good that, it just is not meant to be replicated. And that's not to say that it can't be good, because I do believe a follow-up could be good. I do believe so. But just this was 1 in a million, not to get on the nose here, but this movie was the 1 in a million. So I'm saying that there's not a chance in all.
And in a sense, it came out of nowhere. I mean, nobody would be expecting this movie.
Yes.
You couldn't predict or expect this movie. It was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. No, that's
Oh, I
why it
forgot
almost
about
killed me the
this
first
one.
time I watched it because
Yeah.
here it's funny.
She told
And
me
I'm
the
like-
whole sleazy story, Mr. French.
Got 4 inches.
According to Matt, we've only gone 4 inches.
Inches. Takes the map literally.
You know, I never pieced that together, Boosh. Yeah, they blew $5 million in 2 days. Holy
Yeah.
that is nuts.
Isn't that map line in the second movie?
No, it's
No,
in this movie.
Is it in this one? Oh,
I
okay.
think it's in this one, isn't it?
It's in
I
this
thought it was
movie.
when they were in the.
It's
you could be
earlier
right.
in the movie. Earlier in the movie, on the
Okay.
earlier part of the
I
drive.
just was thinking of the scene in the second one when they're like close
Just
up
did it.
on them and they're
Just
looking at the
fine.
map and you think they're
that's
parked
in-
and then you realize they're right in the middle of the fucking freeway.
Okay,
Yeah,
kill him. No, kill him.
Oh, kill him!
I mistook it from Ace Ventura, where he's like, kill him. He's like, jerk, musclehead, over him and Dan Marino.
Yesterday was the greatest day of my life. Mary and I skied, made a snowman. She touched me. I'm like, okay, kill him!
Kill him, yeah.
What if he shot you in the face, Harry?
What if he shot me in the face? Well, that's a
That was a
chance
risk we were willing to take.
I'm not sure, but I think that 4 inches line might have been stolen as well from the Muppet movie. But I'm just
You think
just
so?
something about sticks in my head. Something about
Yeah.
Kermit saying that.
Oh,
Yeah, it might be
actually,
a rip-off.
Fozzie would say that if anything.
Yeah, it might be a rip-off line, but
He completely misses him.
Yeah.
He's like 5 feet away from him. Harry, you're a horrible shot.
Yeah.
You're alive and you're a horrible shot.
Lucky me.
Yeah.
And that's where the lines. What if he shot me in the face?
Yeah, what if he shot you in the face?
A little chance they're willing to take. That girl was on Herman's Head, if anyone remembers that show. That was an old Fox show where I loved Herman's Head, yeah.
That was the show that I said Pixar ripped off that one movie from.
Inside Out.
Yep.
Inside Out, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Herman's Head was fun, yeah.
They put a bulletproof vest on me. They gave me a gun. What if he shot me in the face? What if he shot me in the face?
And look at the vest like it's hanging down, like it's not even fitting onto him.
See, I told you it was a risk. That was a risk we were willing to take. How come I didn't get a gun? Did you get a gun?
It's okay. I want to talk about this scene here because obviously it gets near to the end. This area, where this scene is shot, has particularly to do with what almost was the alternate ending, where there's the one guy who earlier kind of looks like a Roger Ebert who works at the hotel. He offered them jobs, and they passed it up. And I'm glad they didn't use that for an ending, but that was an alternate ending.
Yeah, there is an alternate ending. Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't go with that. The ending that they do with this movie is perfect. Because I've had friends.
Do you realize what you've done? I'm sorry, my friend's a little slow. The town's back that way. Man, 2 lucky guys are gonna get to hang out with those chicks for the rest of the summer.
Was waiting, but die. He imagines.
And then his alternate ending in his head. Shoot him.
Wow. This is my husband, Bobby. I'm so happy for you. Of all the things. Yes, you do. Yes, Lloyd is insane. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but Harry's the one that would kill somebody.
Oh, straight up.
That's the thing is they're counterbalanced so well, even though how stupid they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Harry's the one who'll sit there and fantasize about doing it, or I mean, Lloyd's the one who'll fantasize about doing it, but Harry's the only one who'd actually do it in the heat of passion.
Yes.
All right,
Just
so
like-
I got some clips to play before we get out of here. So here we go.
Not good.
Not good like 1 out of 100.
I'd say more like 1 out of a million.
I broke it up so we're safe. Yep.
No,
here's
no.
here's the best one.
Down.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah! I read you.
I love the next line, like when the husband wants it, like what was that 1 in a million stuff when he finds out she's married?
What about all that 1 in a million stuff?
His head fell off.
His head fell off.
Yeah, he was pretty old.
I think I played that one.
Austria. Well then, good day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
Yeah, we've seen all of those.
Action Com, I'm glad you brought this up because I was gonna bring this up because I had friends who I know who I guess you could say debated with way back in the day. Like, oh, they should let them get on the bus, to have them on. Like, no, it's better that they didn't get on the bus because it shows you how competent that they are, and it's a great way to end the movie like that. The fact that even when they have the golden shot, they still don't take it because they're too stupid to take it and get it. So yeah, I was all for. Once again, this is one of those movies where the things that they went with for the theatrical cut were the best decisions. Once again,
Yeah, because it's like this quote here. It's like how depressed they are.
I've had it with this dump. We got no food. We got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off. Heads are falling off.
I love Jerry's delivery there. It's like, yeah, it doesn't work if they get they get the job right at the end. It's much better just knowing they're out there, right? Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Chat, I want you to sound off on your scores of toxicity and greatness as this movie obviously is coming to its close. And I'm gonna let our fellow friend of the channel, Mr. Tom, go. And as he goes, he's gonna say his final thoughts. So, Tom.
Well, here I got a couple more clips. Sorry, here we go.
Okay,
Time.
When are we ever gonna catch a break?
Hi, y'all. Hey, allihopa. Hey, guys. We're going on a national bikini tour, and we're looking for 2 oil boys who can grease us up before each competition.
Yeah, that's such a 90s bikini or 80s bikini.
Right?
Oh, God.
Yep.
You're in luck.
You're in luck.
And then you think for a couple of seconds at the end, you think they're gonna get lucky. They think they're gonna be smart enough. So yeah, and they're not.
You realize what you've done?
you would think at the moment what they realize what they do is pass them up, but nope, it's about the direction. It's even better. You got air clips, Mark?
I got a couple more, but we'll save them till the end.
Okay.
The very end. Yep.
I'm gonna let Tom sound off on his final thoughts and everything.
Yeah, I said like I gotta slip off here. I got to do some things here. I appreciate it, but no, this is a great film. Definitely a 90s staple. Probably Jim Carrey's best as far as comedies go. Ratings wise, well, I got to give it a 10 out of 10. But toxicity, I mean, yeah, it's got some toxic moments in it, and it's especially considering when it came out in the era of the PC 90s. That's where some of the jokes come out of it, right? And I think that might be why it lives on so well. Is that it's just kind of the humor of it it lends itself to the current era just as much as it did then, and it'll probably still resonate 20 years from now. So I guess I give it like a 6 out of 10 on the toxicity level.
Okay.
Maybe. And 2 Hooters, both of them.
Check out those wings.
No, that
Thank
sounds
you for having
awesome.
me as always.
My pleasure, Tom. Always good to have you. I'm glad to have you as part of this show, man. It's been a fun one tonight. So go do your thing, sir. And as always, we'll be in touch.
All right, love you guys. Take care. Thank you.
Good night.
See you, buddy.
Oh man, we'll catch our break too. We'll catch our break. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Just keep our eyes open. Oh, what? See, that is
Perfect
what
end.
I call
Perfect.
a perfect ending. That is a good, solid, neatly wrapped in a bow ending. Once again, this movie was just right guys, right place, right time. Everything it was one of those it fell into place type of moments.
Mhm.
Like I said, I don't doubt that a sequel could be good. I'm sure it could be even a worthy follow-up. But I feel like truly the best that it would amount to is a worthy follow-up.
Well,
There's
the
just
sequel's
something
okay. It's just
The
not.
sequel's all
It's
right,
not
but it
great. It's just not
didn't capture
this
it,
level
yeah.
of greatness. Yeah,
It
there's
was
some
too
funny
late.
bits in it.
It was too late in the day, for one thing. It was many years after.
Yeah, because doesn't it open up with Carrie's been in a home for like 30 years, not speaking because
Yeah.
of a debt, a bet or something
Yeah.
really stupid, but he
It'd
decides
be
not to
one
speak for
thing-
30 years. Yeah.
They
It'd
should
be
have made
one
the
thing if
sequel.
it was a sequel where there was left with a cliffhanger ending or something open to like, hey, maybe they could do something with that.
No, but
there's
what I
nothing
would
open.
what I would have done, Nick, is if the sequel had been made relatively soon after, it should have started right where that one ended and been more of a road movie
Yeah.
about them
Yes.
trying to get back home. Because there's also, like the old Bing Crosby, Bob Hope road movies or whatever, you could have made the whole thing about them trying to get home and all sorts of shit happening to them on the way. But that's
Agree.
it was far too late, the sequel, for them to do that because they'd aged, visibly aged quite a bit. So
It
Yeah, they
aged,
kinda
but
do that,
once
yeah.
again, also Carrie, I don't think he doesn't have that type of style comedy as well as he used to. He still has it to a degree, but not to the way he did in the 90s.
I agree. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and this movie's raw. It's a raw movie. You can see that, it's young in his career, and he's just there's a spark there, and right away, this movie gets you right from the beginning, gets you laughing. So, I think that's where it works. I mean, I know people that don't like this movie / hate this movie. I don't think my wife's ever gonna watch this show, so I'm safe. But yeah, it's just I love this kind of humor. I think it's hysterical, and it just especially if you got a few beers in you. Not that you need that, but it's a great movie to watch with a bunch of friends and just hang out, have some pizza, right, without clams on it, I guess, and lots of beer, and it's just a good time movie. It's not like it's a simple story. It's
yeah,
but
but it's all about the two guys and their
it's
performances.
a buddy flick
For me,
Yeah.
it's a buddy road movie, and they created two great characters there, and as they got the right actors. They just
Oh yeah,
doesn't matter what else
Lightning
was
in a
going on
bottle.
around them. It was all about those two guys.
Right.
I'm kind of curious. I would love to see a stream where Mark and his missus review this movie, and we get to hear the love and adoration from Mark's side. And most of us are pretty empathetic and sympathetic to that. We feel you, bud. And then there's going to be the minority of people that are going to hear your wife be like, "You go, girl.
Yeah.
Funny and brave." And I
This movie
would love to.
sucks.
Come on,
I would
Mark, you
love
can
to
do
see
it.
that.
Set it up, Mark. Let's do it.
Yeah,
I'll
ask
moderate.
her. I
I'll
might have to-
moderate for you.
You'll
I'll
moderate, yeah.
Yeah.
For the missus only time on YouTube. Yeah, I'll have to ask her. Yeah, like the gang wants you on to talk about Dumb and Dumber. I promise you, don't never watch that stupid movie again. Right? Yeah. The only movie I get her to watch twice is The Princess Bride, or more than once. Yeah.
Wow.
Feel a little
right,
bit. Go ahead, Nick. No, you go ahead.
I'm going to read out these scores, and then we're going to pass off to Bruce. Brian Bart gives it a 10 out of 10.
Princess
Mr.
Bride.
Angel, 10.5 out of 10. Great movie, 70s. Boosh McFadden, 10 out of 10. Greatness, of course. I've seen this a couple dozen times and never gets old. Lloyd is pretty damn toxic, but I'd say 6 IOUs out of 10 for toxicity. RJ Godzilla, 81, 9.5 out of 10. Stephen M. Kal-El, toxicity 8, overall greatness 10. JT Kirk, overall greatness 10, toxicity 6.9 out of 10. RJ Godzilla, 4.25 for toxicity. Jonah Hex, 9 out of 10. IOUs, 8 out of 10. Stephen M. Toxicity 8, overall greatness. Soul Assassin, 10 out of 10. Purple Suits. Yuli Chow, toxicity, overall 10-10. Ashton Khan movie, 9 mini bikes, toxicity, 8 tablets of rat poison. Holy shit. Toxicity, 6 IOUs. We're good for it. Overall, 8 out of 10. These comments. Inverse opinion, 7 toxicity, 9 greatness. All right. Well, I got them all. Bruce, go ahead and start off on your final thoughts.
I just watched about a couple weeks ago Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, and that's my favorite Carrey comedy. Came out same year. This movie I've never seen this movie before, and I laughed quite a bit. But I think there's some pacing issues, so I think it probably, as a movie, would score lower. But it's got some really good comedy to it. There's some bits in here that I've seen memes for almost 30 years. Since the memes have started, this was one of the primary sources of memes. And I think it elevates it quite a bit to a classic status. And for that, I'm going to give it an 81% for like the quality of the film. Toxicity, though, Lloyd elevates it to an 85 because there's a lot. there's a lot of good toxicity that comes out of him. And I think this movie could have been a lot darker with a not so talented director. I think they took it in the right direction, and I'm very happy for the editor that they did what they did for the theatrical cut, because I watched the cut version, or the director's cut version of it on the internet after I was done, and I was Tom hit it right. Editing is how you get your comedy. If you don't have a good editor, the comedy will suck. It might have been great, but you're supposed to cut the scene 3.5 seconds ago. It drew out far too much. And that's every single scene they do. So skip over that. Do not see the director's cut. For toxicity, though, Lloyd is a good Lloyd's pretty good, I thought. And Jim Carrey, I just think he sells comedy very well. This was his peak era. I'd say 85%.
Okay. Awesome. Well said, Bruce. Glad to hear. Love hearing your input tonight. Phantom Outsider says toxicity 8.9, greatness 9.8, termination of an endangered species 10 out of 10. All right, Mark.
I mean, you guys know how much I love this movie, so I won't go on for another 2 hours. But yeah, it's just lightning in a bottle. It's just when a movie works for you, it's just amazing. And you know, Lauren Holly is gorgeous, so she's perfect for this role. She's like, you know, an innocent you know, person, and she's not tied up in this plot too, which is good. I think, you know, it's just their you know, business. Who was the guy? Was that a business partner or someone in the family? You don't even know who it is really, but I don't remember. But just, you know, the jokes in this, the rapier wit.
Raper wit.
The raper wit.
Right.
It's
right.
Wit. Like if you're not paying attention, you know, there's some great jokes in here that you can catch on the second time around. And yeah, these just Daniels is just, he's, you know, comedy doesn't work without that straight man, and Daniels just pulls it off so well, though although he gets some of his great jokes too, but he's a fantastic foil for Jim Carrey. And I just, you know, and Carrey's physical humor, you know, I'm not a fan of all his movies, but this one, he just knocks it out of the park. And it's just and there's some good plot points too, like, you know, when they get Seabass, like I said, in the diner to get to pay for everything, and then you know, they end up selling the shag wagon, so the FBI can't find him. So like stupid things actually work out in their favor that you know, without thinking obviously because they're Dumb and Dumber, but actually, they evade capture, and then the IOUs are just in the end, and just having that much fun spending all those millions of dollars with the IOUs. Like you dream of being able to do that, one day, just going out and buying whatever you want. Yeah. Tim says the moped. Yeah. So, every once in a while, when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber. So, they pull it off. So, yeah, the movie's a 10. It's an all-time favorite. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. And Toxicity, I'm saying it's like an 8. I think it's when they killed that spotted owl, the owl. That's just like a jab at the politically correct movement back then. And there's just some the scene in the bathroom is just so toxic, literally and figuratively. So yeah, just love
That
this
guy
movie.
wanted Seabass wanted to stick it in Lloyd,
yeah,
in a hole. So yeah, and we saw he didn't want that. He wanted his own thumb.
yeah. Yeah, this movie, and don't watch, if you watch it on Max, or it's not Max, I guess. As Tom said, I have the DVD and I have the Blu-ray, but it doesn't add a lot more to the movie in terms of it just changes the tone of the movie. Those few scenes, and the edit, like everyone's been saying, the editing is a lot tighter, and you just don't need it. You just don't need it. But so if you can find it, watch the original theatrical cut. But yeah, this is just one of my all-time favorite movies. If you couldn't tell by all the clips that I pulled, I'm working on one more last clip for the end. So, but a lot of fun tonight. It was great hanging out with everyone. The chat was totally not dumb tonight. The chat was
brilliant,
very
really
intelligent,
brilliant. Rocking it tonight.
Yeah,
certainly, chat was absolutely killing it. Comments left and right. Loved it. Mark, thank you, sir, very kindly. Tim's Talk says 10 for a comedy. 70s, your final thoughts?
Well, what was interesting for me watching it right now was just how, and I mentioned earlier, road movies, how much it did remind me of, and many of you guys may not have seen them, the old Bob Hope, Bing Crosby movies, road movies, the road to whatever, I think there's a large amount of that in this. Albeit in a way much grosser comedy than those guys would have done, but it's similar. There's a lot of slapstick in it. It's the two actors and the two characters that make it. I mean, you could have wrapped any plot around this, but let those guys do the things that they do in this, and that's the funny part. A lot of physical comedy, a lot of sheer stupidity and outrageousness with those two guys. So yeah, it does remind me of a Hope and Crosby road movie. In terms of toxicity, it because it's more of a gross out than it is a toxic movie, I think it gets a little bit less of a score there than it might do. I'd say maybe it's like a 7 out of 10 for toxicity, because I think it's more just gross in places than toxic. I'm not sure I can quantify that, but so I'd say 7 out of 10 for toxicity. Although it is refreshing to see a movie like this that it made me feel all nostalgic for the days that movies could do things like talk about tits and shoot owls, without anybody getting their knickers in a twist about it, getting their panties in a bunch. I miss those days. So I'd say 7 out of 10. It definitely came as a surprise at the time when it came out and went to see it. I thought, oh my God, that was good. So,
I wish I'd seen this in the movie theater. Yeah, you were much smarter than me.
Yeah, and it was packed, and it was just everyone was killing themselves laughing. So it was a great night. So it's mindlessly entertaining, but it embraces that. It goes for it. It's not like it's mindlessly entertaining by accident. I think that's what they've gone for. So I'd probably go like 8.5 out of 10 overall as a movie. And it's one I've watched, I don't know, a dozen times or so. I'll always watch it again one day. It's going to
of course
always be watched again someday.
That 70s rock fan, but before we pass off to the wrap up, in 94, you saw this in the theater, right?
I did.
Now, did you also have the opportunity to see Ace Ventura and The Mask in the theater as well?
I did see them all in the theater. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you're
so,
testing my memory now. I'm an old man, you know.
hold on. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. The reason why I'm asking this is because you said that this took you by surprise. And when I saw Ace Ventura in theater, I've never laughed harder in my life. That probably I that is the movie I remember that caused me about 2 hours of stomach and chest pain. And I was in good shape at the time. I just gotten done with my second rotation off of Cybergenics, and because you're in the Navy, you have nothing else to do but lift weights and then do your cleaning and other crap. So that's shore duty. But I was seeing this movie and I really hit a muscle that I'd not hit in my workouts, and so I had never seen Carrie overact and outperform like that. In this movie here, I laughed quite a bit. If I would have seen it when I was 19, I bet you I would have had a close experience to that in the theater. But I'm wanting to know how you were in the theater. Did you find yourself hurting at the ribs?
I would. Oh, absolutely. I was absolutely in pain watching this movie. I had some idea when Jim. I don't know why, but in my head, I seem to recall seeing The Mask in the cinema first, and maybe I'm wrong about the timing. I don't know. But I had some idea of who the guy was because of In Living Color, and because I'd seen one stand-up that he'd done in Canada. Not that I was living in Canada then, but I'd seen a copy of a stand-up routine he'd done when he was pretty young, and it was pretty good. So I had some idea who the guy was. But yeah, I absolutely hurt myself watching this. Same with Ace Ventura. I mean, I think The Mask wasn't quite as a gag fest as these. It's more of a musical come, retro comedy, given the setting of The Mask. It's got that sort of 30s look. But yeah, absolutely hurt myself. And Tim's asking, what's my favorite comedy of all time? It's always tough with those, but I'd have to say it's a toss-up between Monty Python and the Holy Grail and Monty Python's Life of Brian. Those two are number one, joint number one. I'm not dead yet. Shut up.
Well, I can tell you, Bruce, I was in massive amounts of pain watching this movie, especially because I was on the couch with the VCR back then, rewinding it until I kept getting yelled at for not being allowed to rewind scenes. Because it was painful to rewind on the VCR. It was like clunk, rewind.
Jonas just throwing a spanner in the works by mentioning Airplane, because at some point in time I might have said that was my favorite. Plus Kentucky Fried Movie might have been my favorite at some point, and then so on and so on. But I'd say that if I'd always go back to the two main Monty Python movies, those two.
I'm Spinal Tap.
Well, you see, that's got laughs in it, but it's not.
Sure Thing is one of my all-time
comedies. We'll just start to list off all the movies I love now. Then
Princess Bride,
15 of them. Liar Liar is okay, but it's not. I don't think Liar Liar's in the same league as Dumb and Dumber or Ace Ventura. It's a little bit more mainstream, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah,
I agree with that. As much as I enjoy it, yeah, I agree with that. I do agree. So enjoyable flick nonetheless. No.
Like Slapshot's got some great comedy in it, but it's more like a comedy drama sport.
It's good drama
that
too.
one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, this one, there's nothing. Dumb and Dumber has no pretensions to be anything other than a gag fest road movie comedy.
Right.
It's not trying to be anything else or do anything else. The one criticism I do have of it, and we saw it in the dream sequence, is I think they overextended certain bits just a little. I mean, that bit felt a little bit like filler. It felt a little bit like filler there. So
this was there were too many Hooters.
There was a couple of good points there. Yeah.
I see what
she's showing us the way, right?
Anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's a great movie, but I'd say 8.5. There are comedies I like better, but I've seen this one many times, and as I say, It's a sort of movie that if you're ever in a hotel and you're flicking through the television channels because you're bored and it comes on, you'll watch the rest of it.
Yep.
Very
One
true.
of those movies.
Yes. Facts. No, I agree.
You wouldn't just
70s.
keep flicking.
Well,
You go, I'll just watch the last hour of this.
well, no, it
It
don't
sucks
matter.
you in,
It's
yeah.
one of those ones where it don't matter what scene it's at. You leave it on
Yeah.
and you let it go. It's one of those movies. It's definitely in the pantheon of those type of movies.
For
Whether
sure.
you're giving it the all attention viewing, the rewatch, the background noise, yeah, it fits all those. It checks off the boxes per se. All right, 70s. Well, I guess for my final thoughts, I'm gonna go with a 6.5 toxicity, and that's all in debt to Lloyd and Seabass. Lloyd was definitely Lloyd was unintentionally. He didn't realize it, but it's in his genes, man. You know, he's got some stuff, and of course Harry's comment to Mary at the fancy house was during the owls is very memorable stuff. I mean, so I'd say as far as dialogue wise, that's definitely where it's at because the dialogue definitely had moments of that, but it definitely doesn't hit like mega levels of it. So yeah, I'd say it's fairly toxic at moments. Not the most at all, but definitely more than some. So 6.5 for me there. Greatness, I mean, man, this is one of the movies I've watched the most in my entire life. I've watched Dumb and Dumber. Man, this is like if you had to, add a certain limb to my body part, this movie is one of the body parts. You have the heart, the intestines, the liver,
It's
Dumb
your
and
pancreas, is it?
Dumber. Yeah, the pancreas. Yeah. It's just it's one of the organs. Dumb and Dumber is one of the added organs of the body per se. I've lived with this movie. I've breathed it basically.
Stop calling me
yeah.
Percy.
Absolutely.
This movie makes you
amazing
smarter.
dialogue.
Phantom Outsider. Sorry, Nick, to interrupt you. Had mentioned
go ahead.
Yeah, Jim Carrey was in movies before this, and he's mentioned several of them there, particularly Deadpool, which obviously wasn't really a comedy the part, but Earth Girls Are Easy. I mean, that was a pretty good comedy that he was in. So he had done some movies, but
I like Unspitten.
as a lead, this was you've started to become a lead in movies. But he had been around. Yeah.
Duck Factory. I don't remember that one.
I'm not sure about that one either, to be honest.
Never
But I
heard
wasn't
of-
living in the
not
States.
doubting,
so-
just I never heard of it. Yeah. Peggy Sue got married. Yep. Thank you for that, Phantom. Yep.
Have you seen Once Bitten?
I can't remember.
Okay.
Honestly, can't
It's
remember.
good.
I've got it written down now, though.
All right.
Why shy?
Written down. Once Bitten, Twice Shy. Ian Hunter of Mott the Hoople. Great record.
There you go.
Once Bitten,
Yep.
Twice Shy.
So yeah,
Once Bitten,
I'm probably
1985.
gonna go
Hard-
movie
comedy
wise.
hard.
I'm gonna probably go with I'm gonna go with a 9.3. I mean, besides once again, it shows you Jim Carrey, even though he's more known for being physical to comedy, but it shows you he's also got the dialogue down. Besides being crazy and obnoxious, like obviously when he fights the guy and does all his fancy Mortal Kombats, like martial arts movies. There's definitely great lines you got to definitely pay attention to. And yeah, when you're laughing your ass off, you may be missing a line, as we mentioned many times earlier. And there's just quotes for days, memeable scenes for days. There's just so much greatness in this movie. And it's a journey. It's just two guys who are absolutely stupid and retarded, and you fall in love with them. And you enjoy seeing their journey, and you see that they start off stupid and they end off stupid. And it's, once again, as I said many times earlier, it's nicely wrapped in a bow. It's just very nice, done in one story. And yeah, I stand by 9.3, one of the all-time greats in comedies, and well, I'll just say it, in movies in general. Maybe my favorite Jim Carrey movie, maybe ever. So anyways, chat, you have been awesome. Brandon, the anime guy, thank you for the super trailer. Sherry 70s, thank you guys for the memes. And I saw a few new faces, and hopefully you guys liked what you saw and you do come back for more. And yeah, to my usual suspects, thank you for hanging out with us. I love seeing you guys always here every night. Or every Tuesday night, I should say. I need to go to bed. It's always awesome to be doing this. This is always fun. And next week, next Tuesday night, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, there was a movie on that title. And that's the one we're going to talk about. So we did Desperado way back.
Yeah, way back, right? Yeah.
So we're finally following up on that one. Finally. So Once Upon a Time in Mexico is the flick for next week.
Nice.
And before I plug these guys with their channels. Oh, Eric Hayes got that covered. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
The Mod King. Next week, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. You can find me at Comics Division, Yelling in Park Cars TNT, Midnight's Edge After Dark, the Comic Shop Talk. I posted a video yesterday. 5 reasons why I believe and know ISOM 2 will eclipse ISOM 1. Do check that out. I will maybe even have a video out reviewing Grant Nolan's Joe Frankenstein. We'll see.
Nice.
And I will be in Dallas for the FNT meetup. So if any of you in the chat are going, I'd love to meet you and hang out with you. And we're also doing a Dick's Division breakfast. So come have breakfast with Dick's Friday morning. We have a RSVP up for that. Ask Toxic Man Flu. He does have that. So please, I want to hang out with as many of you as possible. All right. Let's laugh. Let's cry. Let's eat some biscuits. Let's call up Gilbert Gottfried
Just
back
do
from the
not
dead.
come.
It'll be great. All right. Oh, I'm gonna come. So yes, that's what's going on my side of the land. And I see the few new subs. Thank you guys for the new subs as well. All right. I'm gonna let these gentlemen plug their channels, and then we're getting the hell out of here. And you know what? We're gonna start off with 70s.
I have a channel. I do have a channel. Yes, that's all right. That 70s rock fan.
Plug it.
I had a great show on Monday, a tribute to Ray Stevenson, where I was joined by Razor Fist, and we had a lovely chat about Punisher Warzone. It was a lovely show. So go back and check that out if you've got the chance. Thursday morning, you can catch me on Pop Culture Minefield for my 9 a.m. Mountain Time. So I'll leave you to work out where that is in any other time zone. And this week, I'll be talking about a 2017 Korean movie called The Battleship Island and the Japanese island Hashima Island that it's set on. Now, if you've never seen the movie The Battleship Island, you may have seen Skyfall, and part of it is set in that abandoned Japanese island. But this is a Korean movie about Koreans that were forced to work there. It's a coal mine in this island. It was set up for coal mining, forced to work there during the war and their escape attempts. So chatting about that, and yeah, probably other stuff soon too.
All right, awesome. And yes, thank you, Eric K. That is 70s' channel, sir. It's been pleasuring, and I will be seeing plenty of you in the next week, and it's going to be huge.
I'll be seeing plenty of you, and unfortunately, I won't be seeing you in the flesh.
I know. Next year.
Next time, if I can get better.
I can't wait. I want you to come.
I'm going to miss you all.
Thank you, 70s. It's been great. Bruce.
Hello. I had to switch my microphone earlier. Tom heard me sneezing, and I thought I was muted. Anyway, my name is Bruce, and I have a YouTube channel. It's been around for a while. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Come see us Saturday. If you are needing to catch up on Sleep Saturday, just go ahead at 12:30. Turn on my channel. We should be live then. I've got Janet from Another Planet and about 7 other Hellraisers that are, some of them are going to be at my apartment. And we're going to be playing Pathfinder or D&D 3rd Edition for about 8.5 to 9 hours for a live play. That's what we do every other Saturday. Every Monday night, me and Janet from Another Planet actually review movies, and we talk about things, not big movies like this. We're talking small movies, like the ones we did yesterday. Movies like The Gamers or Demon Hunters, Dead Camper Lake, stuff like that. So if you want another perspective on things, we don't really hide our opinions. So do bring your helmet. I do request that, but we do try to keep a good sense of humor. I want you guys to have fun, and we've got a good crew always. I would love it if you guys would show up. I understand that there's other things going on Monday nights too. Comics. Anyway, Dick's division over comics show. I understand, but really do enjoy being here, Nick, and I appreciate you every time you allow me to be in the channel. I try to bring my A game, and I do appreciate you letting me be part of this. This is a great panel of people here. Thank you, sir.
No, the pleasure is mine, dude, and you will be on again soon. Like I said, you are definitely a reoccurring guest, and this is not the last time. We will do this again, and as I say and promise, and will continue to promise so, it'll be much sooner than later. Guys, this is Bruce Lombardo of the Dick's Division channel. By all means, do sub, do watch, do listen, and lastly but not leastly, do enjoy. Sir, you have a great night. It was awesome to hang out with you once again.
Thank you, Nick.
Mark,
you
are now the monetization man.
Yeah. Thank you for everyone's help. Yeah, we're not gonna do it without you guys. So yeah, I guess YouTube has a new level where you could do 500 subs and 3,000 watch hours, which I never knew about till it showed up in my analytics one day. Unless something special about me.
Why did we work so hard to get to 1,000 then?
Yeah, well, the 1,000 you get, the full level. You get, I guess you get the the links or whatever. You get but you get you get more members and super chats, which is the most fun at at this. So I've already got some members and the super chats. Everyone went overboard the other night, which is appreciated. But the memberships are fun and trying to offer some things there. But I do have a couple more quick clips to play. So of course, when you end the movie,
He's a little slow. The town is back that way.
yeah, so you can't, you got into that, and then of course I think the whole panel, we all redeemed ourselves tonight.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself.
The Air 5.
The Air 5, yeah, they screw up the Air 5, yeah. But yeah, check out my channel. I've do a lot of toy reviews. So here's Spider Gwen, and then here's another version of Spider Girl, crazy car. But I've always got toys, 3D printing. We talked about the new Spider-Verse movie on Sunday night, so hang out on Sunday Night Geekery, and the great, awesome Eric K stopped by for a while, which is fantastic. Glad he's doing a little bit better on Sunday night. Yeah, so shout out to Eric K for popping in there. So you never know who will stop by, but yeah. So I'm on also Thursday night, Clobbering Times with the Clubhouse, and then in the chat on Saturday night, Star Trek hanging out. But this has been a lot of fun, and thanks again for all the people that subbed and watched. And if you like, you can see the back of the room here. If you like that kind of crap, check out my channel. And Eric says, hey, it was nice to stop in. It was great to have you. So yeah, looking forward to the movie next week, and hope you guys I went maybe a little overboard with the slides tonight, but hope you all enjoyed.
Dude, no, don't, man, don't. We had a great time tonight.
Thank you, Mark.
Yep. Thank you, Mark.
Yep. Don't sell my bird to a dead kid, please. I mean,
thank you, Eric, once again for wrenching and chat once again. Thank you for hanging out with us every Tuesday night. Your loyalty is always appreciated, sir. All right. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for giving us your time, your energy, and your laughs too, because you make us laugh. Like, we do our best to entertain you, but you also entertain us. So the feelings are absolutely mutual. So we're gonna now say good night with our intro / outro.
I'd like to show you something.
The pace when I'm running, I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, 'cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost off anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm
You forget to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky?
You're still here? It's over. Go home.